Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you all for coming in. Look, I didn't even do an intro today because it's not even that important. What's important is that you are here and it's time to go. Let me know if you can hear me because I lack confidence because of what happened yesterday. So let me know if you all can hear me. And I just wanted to say before I get started, thank you so much for coming in and supporting me. We just had a great time at I Am Betty J Gathers Live. So if you did not get a chance to look at that video, go over there and press replay. And, thank you all for coming on over here and supporting me with this one. Gamma, hey, Gamma, I see everybody. Look, let me get myself together. Everybody's here. Today, I am keeping up with the chat. Today, it's all about you all. I decided that, we talked a lot about YouTube ads yesterday, so I'm not going to do it. We're not going to beat a dead horse. We're just going to go ahead and talk about what we want to talk about. Today is your day. What do you all want to talk about today? So I'm keeping up with the chat. How's everybody's day going? Just let me know. All those good things. Let me see. Okay, I'm already behind, so let me go up here and watch this chat. Hey, Miss Betty said we can hear you. All right, everybody said gang's here. Gang, gang, gang. Gang is here. Yeah, BJ Ray. Hey. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Okay, let's see. Woo! Thank you all for waiting for me. I had to get a couple things set in place, but we're here. Gamma. Gangs here, Miss Betty. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. What I want to know is, and you don't have to tell me like what your party affiliation is or which way you're deciding to vote, but I just thought about this right before I came in here. And I just wonder, how many of you are planning to vote early if you're voting? If you're not voting, then I guess I'm not talking to you. But if you are voting, are you thinking about voting early or sending ballots in? Because that's the easy way to do it too, right? That's what I'm doing this year. I'm gonna do a mail-in ballot. So welcome all. Yes, welcome all. Gamma said, Betty, hey, 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 and here she comes. Oh, here she comes. Y'all remember that song? Watch out, boy, she'll hear you up. I don't know the rest of it. Oh, here she comes. She's a man-eater. Do you all remember that song? I don't even remember who sang it. I just remember that song from when I was little. Gamma's World, it's here. Thumbs up. That's right. Don't forget, if you are here, thumbs up the live. Oh my goodness. I really meant to come in vertically. I just messed it up. I already messed it up. I was pushing buttons too fast and too excited to come in, and I just came in. So this is horizontal. Look at that. So I guess it might actually be a good thing, because if I have some guests that are over here in the chat section that wants to come up and, this is all about you all today. And if I recognize you, let me just start there. If I recognize you, if you've been here before and I see you, then, you can come up and join me. And maybe you can tell others about your channel and what you're doing and all that good stuff. But if I have not, I've been told and I've learned some lessons from watching other YouTubers not to invite everybody up here, because it's not a party for everyone. It's not. So, let me know if you want to come up and tell us something about yourself for your channel, because I love the engagement. Miss Betty already got me started. This is just like, what is it? That was a prelude. Now we're in another live. So she got me warmed up, and now I'm here. I'm ready. Okay, I got to catch up, because I told Miss Betty I was going to keep up with this chat. 5 minutes, Andrea. Hey, Geeky Girls Journal. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Geeky Girls Journal, pretty thumbnail. Thank you. I just popped that up, Miss Betty. I found it real quick, and I was like, I told you all I was coming over here, so I needed to hurry up and find one real quick, throw it up there. So I'm glad you like it. Hopefully it works for everybody else. If not, I don't know what to tell you. You just gonna have to deal with it until I'm keeping it up there. I'm not changing it. I'm not gonna even make something up, because I know I'm not going to change it. It's going to be that green hoodie. I know I don't have it on right now, but that's what you're going to see when you see this video. Reminder, viewers and subscribers of this YouTube channel, please set an alarm on your cell phone for each of these wonderful, informative, and entertaining YouTube live stream broadcasts. Thank you very much, Mr. Terry. And if you are here and if you want to invite somebody else, go ahead and invite them over. You know that share button, the one that looks like that, like a curved arrow or something like that. Press that button and tell some other people to come on over here. Just say, come on over and talk. Come on over and have fun with us. We can hear you. Oh, I'm already behind. Andrea, catch up. We can hear you. We can hear you. Yes, we can. Thank you. See, that's why you all are the best, telling me. And yesterday, oh my goodness, I want to talk about this, but I got to be mindful of the chat. You all were trying to warn me for I don't know how long about that mic situation. So thank you so much. Miss Betty over there yelling at me in the chat. I know she was yelling. Gamma and everybody else trying to tell me, Rooted, you weren't here, but everybody else who saw me was trying to say, come on, girl, you got to pay attention to that chat. We telling you the mic is not working. I sound like a dragon. I heard I sound like, I don't know, a robot or some other stuff. Somebody said they thought it was a fan. I don't know. I thought it was the heater. So my bad, y'all. Anyway, we back. Good morning. I see you. I hear you, Rooted. Thank you for coming in. Everybody saying hi. Good morning. Hi. Okay, I'm going to catch up. I got to catch up. Good morning, Andrea. Geeky Girls Journal. Thank you, Keisha. Keisha's here, Rooted. All right. What do y'all want to talk about? It's about you all. If anybody wants to come up, let me know in the chat. I'm going to find it so I can see if you want to pop up. We'll make this a group activity again. I like group activities. I like cooperative learning. Thanks, you must be offered. Okay, Mr. Terry talking. Let me skip down so I can stay up. Thanks for being here, Keisha. Thank you, Miss Betty's crowd that came over and did a Miss Betty raid. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Thumbs up, thumbs up. That's right. It'll help us grow over here. Thank you. So I'm getting myself together to go pick up my mom to vote and run some errands with her. Oh, okay, good. Well, enjoy yourself today, Gamma. Yes. So, yeah, you are. I was okay, Andre, watch the chat. Hold on. I was watching. I still can't remember that lady's name, but I'm telling you, she was hilarious. Like she had the vice president down pat. She had her down pat. I don't watch Saturday Night Live, but I watched that clip. I told you all my husband was watching, and I thought it was actually her because that's how much she nailed it. And I was just like, man, she is good. I should have looked her name up so I could tell you all, so you could also be, on the same page that I'm on right now. But hey there from Miss Betty. Okay, Andreas. Gamma's World, that's from Miss Betty. Okay. What do you all? Yes, Auntie off work. Unfortunately, change is here. Big choices to be made. Ooh, Rooted. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Don't forget to type GGJ because I will forget to tell you all that while I'm trying to focus on the chat. Don't forget to type GGJ, Geeky Girls Journal. That's so that you can drop your channel link so that you can make connections with everybody else that is here, others that are here. I wish I had a lot of men in the chat, or men. I know I see at least one. I do see at least one here today. Two. I see at least two. And Gamma was having this conversation on her live. Was it 2 nights ago, Gamma? I know it wasn't last night, maybe the night before last. Wait, it was Monday. Okay, so it was Monday because I think she said she does Men Monday or Man Monday or Talk to the Man Monday, something like that. But she was there getting the perspective from, male perspectives, basically their point of view on different situations, dealing with relationships and things of that nature. And I'm like, I think that's very important to have those conversations because women, we don't know what men are thinking all the time. Like they say stuff, but we're just like, okay, so you might feel like you need an interpreter sometimes. I've been married for several years, so I have a very good understanding of who my husband is and like how he acts and all that type of stuff. And I know the signs basically. But for single ladies who may be looking for information, or wondering about whatever it is, it'd be cool to have some guys come up here and just let the ladies ask some questions if they didn't mind being put on the spot. I don't see what you all think about that. Let me go ahead and make myself down because I'm already behind in this chat. I need to catch up. Hey, Geeky Girl from Trish. Okay, I'm going to just say, I hear you, nephew. Everything is temporary in this world. It will get better. It will definitely get better, Rooted. It's going to get better. We're praying for you. It's okay. We're here for you. I may have to drop and pull you up from a ninja, but in the bushes under. All right. I like it. Thank you, Keisha, because you all were hanging out in that last one. So I know you put the time in. You were at Miss Betty's. Now you're here. So, thank you all. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for coming in. What do you think about that? I don't know. I would say I could do it now for now. Hey, Keisha. Thanks so much. for being here for me. Aw, look at all the love. I don't even have to talk about anything really. Look, I'm just talking about whatever you all want to talk about. What you want to talk about? I love the way that you all are just sharing the love over here in this comment section. And I can get real caught up in the comment section if I pay attention to it. Okay. Hey, LSP, how you doing? Good morning. Hey, girl, Dad. Good morning. Good morning to everybody in the chat. You say all my good mornings to everybody. Hey there, Trish, the natural from Keisha, LSP, Rooted. Okay, everybody's saying hi. Let me get on down here. Everybody's saying hi, Rooted, LSP, hi, Keisha. Reminder from Mr. Terry, Geeky Girls official website, geekygirlsjournal.com. If you want to go purchase something for that special person in your life, go over there and check it out. We got some nice stuff. The books, the ebooks, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Just go over there and see for yourself. Just have a ball, and then you find something. I'll be putting stickers out soon, so we're gonna have some new things coming out, so just keep an eye out for that. Keisha, Rooted, Associate Minister, everybody speaking. Yes, but you worked it out, fixed it quick. Gamma, I don't know. I don't think I was as quick as I should have been, because I was like, what? I was still talking. And then I just happened to see something out the corner of my eyes in that chat. That's what made me go over there. And then I was like, wait, what? Mike? And man, I was so disappointed. I'm telling you all, I was really like, I was about to be like, what? My mic not working? But see, and it was just so weird because it's the same exact mic. It was the same setting, same everything. I don't even know what happened. But also, I realized that, with anything that's online, you're going to have issues like that. I mean, for those of you who've been a part of Geeky Girls Journal family all the way from the beginning, you remember when the Wi-Fi used to kick me out. This was during COVID. Like, my computer just at the drop of a dime be like, boop, nope, she's gone. Miss Betty can tell you I was in live with her sometimes, and it just be out. It's out. So, and I know that happened also because of my location. Like, I'm in the trees. So the internet people were like, you know what you want us to do? Like, you just gonna have to take whatever you can get. So that's my story, y'all. I voted our first day. Okay, you voted the first day of early voting on last Thursday. Dropped a couple of shorts and reels. Okay, I need to catch them then, Keisha. I got to get back over there. But I have you in my ear. Oh, thank you. Got to be in that ear. Thank you, Grandma. And have a good time. Drive safely. Enjoy your mom and all those great things. Hey, J3. J3, is that what you want us to call you? Because I've been saying Jags this whole time, I promise you. You want to be J3 GS? Because maybe I missed something. Geeky Girls Journal, hello. And that was a long 10 minutes. No, I know. I had to go do a couple other things. It wasn't just the number one. I did do the number one, but then I had to come back down the stairs. I was running, trying to get here. Then I had to set up the live stream. So my apologies. Y'all are here though. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Yeah, you all are here. So I'm glad you all waited for me. I was still I was still on the chat with Miss Betty, and then I was like, oh, I guess I gotta go. Miss Betty kept telling me to go, but I guess I have FOMO sometimes, fear of missing out. And I'd be like, wait, no, hold on, I'm gonna do this and that. So then I was like, let me just create the stream while I'm on the stream still. So that's that. That's it. Hey, J3, it was a long 10 minutes. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, guys. Because you know what? It literally takes a guy, while we're talking about men, I'm going to just say this for a second. It literally take y'all what, like 0.3 seconds to get in and out the bathroom? I guess if I had your same equipment, I could probably do it. What is that? What's a little bug flying in my face? I could probably do it in 30 seconds or less. You know, in and out. Boom, boom. But I happen to be a woman, so, I didn't have to dress the toilet, and the ladies know what I'm talking about. I didn't have to do that because it's my house, but I had to go in there and, wash my hands. Then after I washed my hands, and my hands felt a little ashy, so I had to put the lotion on there because I can't come on here being crusty. So that's why. And then I had to come and set it up. So stop harassing me. J3, what are we doing? And Rooted? What are y'all saying? Good morning, Tamika. Good morning. Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. That's sure when it was. There are 3 in the chat. Ooh, so 3. Y'all want, I don't even know. Do y'all want to come up, guys, and get a lady some secrets? Like, I mean, you don't have to tell all of the man code, but it would be nice for any of the ladies, like if we had any any questions to just kind of, shoot it your way and see what you guys think. And there's no right or wrong answer, guys. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever you think. I'm not trying to set you up. I'm just trying to ask, if you feel comfortable enough, just let me know. Jags, I know Jags, you were off today. So you might want to come up. You might want to come up and share your wisdom and let us know. Well, just let me know. I'm going to give you all a little time to think about it while I go through this here chat. For now, it's for now. For now. Is it for now? Is it 4 o'clock now or for now? Like, I don't know. Which one are we talking about? Keisha, Jag said hello. Let's see. I think I'm almost caught up to this chat. Look at that girl doing it. Hello and welcome. J3. Good morning, Tamika. Tamika Davis. Okay, everybody's saying hello. Let me skip. Let me see if they answer my question. Guys, I'm coming for you. Girl Dad. That's right. Oh, Girl Dad. That is 3. And Girl Dad, you have a great perspective too. See, I had 3 different ones. If y'all want to, I'm not a vicious person. I wouldn't do anything malicious. I only want you to talk about, I only want you to say what you want to say. Like, don't do more than that, because I'm not even that channel that would want somebody to put their business up, out there, and then please don't do that. Like, just only tell what you are comfortable saying. That's me. Hello. Okay, everybody saying hello. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Morning, Geeky. Hey, Lisette. Lisette, are you the Lisette that's the Betty Boop on I think it's IG. I can't remember, but I know that name, Lisette. And if you're not, I apologize. I just know another name that's Lisette that I think is Betty Boop. I think her name was Betty Boop on it. So, hi, J3. Can't meet their basic needs of life. Who can't meet the Oh, you probably talking about the girl guy thing, right, Mr. Terry? I think that's what you're talking about. Life for life. Hey, Michael Moss. Hey, good to see you. So look at here, y'all. We have a new. Okay, I don't know if you're new, so I'm not trying to blast you, but I just want to say welcome in a Geeky Girls Journal, because I don't remember your name, but I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for coming in. And I don't know, this thing just literally jumped down. Please read the holy book of Job. To learn to worship the blesser and not the blessing. A relationship is out of free will. A benefitship is out of necessity, because one of more persons can't meet their basic needs of life. Okay, that's what I missed. All right, I see it now. I see it. Thank you, Mr. Terry. Okay, everybody's saying hello. You all are just, look at how cordial you are and how loving. I just love it. I love all the love. And there go Michael Moss. Hello, hello. I see you. And I love how you just came in, Michael Moss, just engaging. Look at you. Life for life, for sure. For sure. Laugh out loud. It definitely will. It happens. So if you guys, I think I'm coming close. I'm close to you. I'm only 3 minutes. I got it, Miss Betty. J3 said it is J3GS. It is J3GS, but some people think I'm play with words, so they say Jigs. Okay, which is okay. All right, so I'll just call you J3 because that's what you want to be called. Just like when I said quiche one day and I found out quiche, Keisha does not want to be called quiche. So if you are in here, Keisha, don't call her quiche. She does not like it. Call her Keisha, because that's her name. She don't like. I think I got on nicknames or something, but she just like, no, call me Keisha. I don't even like it. Oh, I remember what happened. My 5-year-old was like, Mom, what if she doesn't like that name? It takes a child sometimes to kind of bring us back to it. And she was just like, yeah, Mom, what if she doesn't like that name? So I was like, you know what? You're right. What if she doesn't like that name? So I had to ask Keisha. She happened to be on live, and I was like, Keisha, do you like that name? Keisha, you probably remember this conversation, don't you? Because my baby corrected me. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just telling you all to be nice. If you know Keisha H, because she's a good friend to my channel and a lot of people's channel. So we want to be respectful to Keisha. And I'll call it Keisha, not Quiche. All right. Just making sure that's clear. Hey, Trish, how you doing? Trish, make sure you drop your link so that everybody can connect with you. Michael Moss, if you are still in the building, and if you would like, to share your channel, you can go ahead and do that. Just type GGJ, and then you can connect with all these wonderful people down wherever the comment section is. I don't know where it is on y'all side. For me, it's over here. So connect you all. And I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to see if the guys wanted to come up. Ladies, if you would like to come up and maybe we can get some tips to some of the guys who will be listening, or, we'll see, because we kind of took that conversation and ran with it with Miss Betty. Oh, I have a question for you, Otto. I was doing a quick live one day, and I brought this question up on the live, but I want to know what you all think about this, since I had so many 13,000 of you in this chat. The question is, if you had an adult child, that had a job interview, would you go to the job interview with them? And I asked this because I was listening to this radio station. I'm going to try to look at this chat while I'm telling this story, because I think I'm getting real far off. I'm going to go look at it right now, then I'll come back. I'll give you time to process that question. If you had an adult child, would you go to their job interview with them? Then I'll come back and tell you why I asked that. So you all got a little time to think about it. Give and take. Michael Moss said, can't go live right now. Oh, can't go live with crusty. No, you can't. Can't be crusty and dusty. And I already have eczema on my hands. So I've just really got to try to keep it, we got to keep it right. I got to keep it right. And plus my kids will be like, Ma, you didn't go live like that. Yes, not a problem. Okay, Michael. Thank you. Hey, well, looky. Frank G is in the building. Good morning, Frank. How you doing? Frank? Watching and listening. Mr. Terry. Look who is here. It's Frank. Uh-oh, something froze, y'all. Geeky Girls Journal. I would love to talk about the difference between a relationship and a benefit. Okay, so we got Mr. Terry who is willing to come up. All right, okay, Mr. Terry, I can drop that link too. Maybe my daughter. Okay, well, I'm glad that you're here, Lisette. I'm glad that you're here. It's my fault. It could have been. Or it's somebody that just has your name twin. That's all. I know you're not the only person in the world with that name. I just thought I'd ask, because I'm that person. I will ask a question. Yes, men, we want to hear from you. We respect y'all's. Yes, say it louder for the people in the back, Grandma. We respect your opinion over here. And it can only help us out, because if I'm always talking to you all about becoming a better person and being the person that God created you to be, I don't think it should always be a one-sided thing. It should be a one-sided conversation. Like, what do you think? What are your thoughts? That's what I know some of you may feel like I ask a lot of questions and I shoot it at you real fast, but I'm really generally asking because I learn from situations like that. I like to know what different people's perspective is, because it can help me out. It might change a point of view that I have. And I just want to continue to grow as a person. I don't want to be stuck at a standstill. And, some things that we may have learned in the past, it doesn't mean that what you learn is the proper way to do things. It's other ways to do things, and it's different perspectives. So that's why I ask men, women, and I'm just saying men for right now, because, I'm just kind of piggybacking off Gamma's live. And that's what she was talking about. And I was like, oh, if I were there, I'd be asking them these questions. They asked some questions though. And my nose is itching again. So excuse me, you all. What else? Mr. Terry. So Mr. Terry, you can, if you want to, I'll drop the link so you can come up and share some of your perspective. And I trust that you're going to get on here and do a great job, because you are here all the time. So you already know how I am and what I expect. A relationship is out of free will. A benefitship is out of necessity, because one of more persons can't meet their basic needs of life. Yeah, you're a first timer. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. Welcome. Subscribe and come on back, Michael. Don't be shy, because I feel like you really jumped right into this conversation, didn't you? I saw all the engagement. I love it. You already knew the rules. So that's the rule. If you're hungry, go get a snack and come back. That's it. And engage. I am new. Welcome. You want me to make up a welcome song? Welcome, Michael. Welcome to GGJ. Welcome, Michael. Welcome. Okay, see, everybody saying welcome. Good morning, Tamika. All right, let me go past the good mornings. And let me see. Let's see if we want. Sarette. Hey, girl. Sarette is in the building. Hey, Miss K-Pop. Miss K-Pop. Sarette, did you put that K-Pop? I'm guessing you enjoy K-Pop, because I asked you that because I would have known nothing about K-Pop if God didn't bless me with 5 daughters, because they put me on to K-pop. Now I know about K-pop. So I liked BTS and Stray Kids. Well, that's who they was listening to. So I just naturally had to listen to them. Some of the girl bands, I know Blackpink. Do you listen to any of those, Sarette? Let me know, girl. Michael says, truth, kids are full of wisdom. Yeah, and they just say what they say, and they real honest and blunt. At least in this house, they are. They real honest. And, I like to think I had a hand in that because I tell them honesty, just be honest. Nah, and add a bit to the mix and having to drip an extra. I don't want to touch that because that is like, you got to do, you got to make sure you dry. You just got to make sure you dry down. I got 10 minutes. Ooh, I probably missed you. Now you got about 5. I got 10 to 15 minutes. Ooh, who wants the man over here? Y'all ready? I'm going to drop the link. Let me drop the link. Okay, how I do this? I'm on StreamYard again. I'm used to Restream, so I just got to find it. I'm dropping that link right now. Let's see. Drop the link, Andrea. Drop the link. I'm dropping it. J3 right now. Come on up here. I'm going to drop it. They want to come up. Oh, I see. I see it on my cell phone. I see you now, Keisha. Thank you, Keisha. I dropped it like it's hot. Y'all see it? Who can see it? Come on, Jed, with your 10 minutes, 15 minutes to spare. You too, Michael? Oh, come on. Michael, okay, you're new. So I need to see your face first. J3, come on up, brother. Yeah.
You're going to see my face. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Thank you. I want to see your face in the place. I know. J3, you have a beautiful smile. I've never got to tell you that.
But just to answer your question straight off the bat, no, okay. I'm not going to an interview with my kids.
You are not going to an interview? Thank you for saying it, because I completely forgot.
Well, the thing to it is, if you go to the interview with your child, you're not going to do the job. Even if you're going to McDonald's, you're not going to do the job. Your child is going to do that job.
That's right. I agree with you. Well, okay. First of all, let me say thank you for answering it. Thank you for coming up and first reminding me that I did say that, and then answering the question, because I was driving along and I heard them talking about this on the radio show, and they were just, this happened apparently, and it's somebody that they either saw on social media. I don't know how they saw, but it was an interview, and they were talking about the young lady who was a young adult, to my understanding. So I'm thinking like college age or right after college. And she had a job interview and took her mom on the job interview with her. I don't know if she had to have requested her mom to go. I don't know. Or if her mom just kind of bulldozed her way into it. Either way, why are you at that child's interview? Young lady now, because she's not even a child. So no. I was just kind of like, I'm all the way out the loop. I got to be out the loop because I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know you could go to a child's interview.
I might drive you there because you don't have a car or anything. But as far as the interview portion, no, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. And call me old school. I don't know. Because like you said, you're not the one interviewing for that position. The daughter is. So I don't know, was she there for moral support or was she there to like correct her? Because they did also say that somewhere in the midst of the interview, she told her daughter to sit up straight and like pay attention. And I was like, okay, that sounds like real helicopterish. Like, why are you telling your adult child what to do at a job interview? And so
I would explain, say, hey, when you go for the interview, you have to do this, you have to do that. I would give them instructions before they go. But as far as being in there, no.
Yeah, no, that's for you because they're interviewing that person for the job, not your mama. So I don't know. See, everybody agrees with us. It's a lot of no. 3 months in and trying to launch this podcast. Okay, well, that's great, Michael. Congratulations. See, I see a lot of no's right here showing up. See, Frank G said no. Michael said no. Yay, she caught up. I know. That's something to celebrate. I caught up, Jay. See, this is going to help me out while you're talking. I can also listen to you, but try to multitask and get that chat because I'm terrible. I suck. Okay.
That's why I pay to have 2 people on your chat, one talk and one read.
You're right. You are so right, because I suck at the chat. I try to pay attention and watch it, but I'm so caught up in the conversation, and I don't want to be rude. I want to look at the person I'm talking to and interviewing, or I just want to look at the camera when I'm talking to people. So I get distracted. Then I'm like, I'm 10 minutes behind, and I'm 20 minutes behind on the chat. Then I feel so bad because I missed the conversation. But I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on it today. Though.
Folks will understand now. If you really have a conversation and you're into it, folks that's watching, yeah, acknowledge me, but common sense is, hey, she putting out a message, you're learning something. That's the main thing.
Thank you. All right. Woo, I appreciate that, because I'm still gonna do better. So my goal is to not be 5 minutes past the chat. I want to try to stay on their tail today, because I know people be saying good stuff over there. You know, the chat, to me, like the chat and having somebody else on a panel is where that's my sweet spot. I love it. I love being able to engage with people. When I'm talking, I'm like, okay, girl, yeah, you got something to say. I do have something to say, but it's just, I don't know. For me, it's nothing like having somebody else to engage with and, you know, make it like a real conversation. Like, you know, we just sit at the table chit-chatting.
Right.
So
it's a little easier because you're actually talking to somebody, but then when there's nobody on the other side and you're trying to talk to that camera, it's a little hard.
It is. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. So I'm glad, you know, other creators, they understand. Creators understand in general, because we all kind of had the same thing to do. Getting ready now. Stand by. All right, Mr. Michael. Now, Michael, let me tell you, I'm going to keep my hand on this button just in case you come up and you seem like you good. You seem like you all right over here. But this is a family channel. Just remember that. So if I feel like it's some shenanigans, I will push that button now. I will.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Don't do what's right.
I got to, because you know, first of all, also I have younger people who watch this channel, so I would not ever want to, you know, do something that's inappropriate. So I just like to tell people right up front, don't come on here. So Jigs, while we waiting, how's your day going, honey? They still call you Honey Slanger?
Yeah, known as the Honey Slanger, Mango Mangler, J through GS Farm, JGD Behaving. I got a few names. That's my other channel.
And the other one too that I first met you as. Oh wait, what's your name from your grandkids? What was it? Oh my goodness, because oh my gosh, what's her name? Purple. All of a sudden, I can't remember her name, but the purple. She loves purple. The purple patch. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember her name? Unbiased. Yeah, Unbiased was calling you Papa, right? Papa. So yeah, that's what I wanted to know. They still calling you Papa?
She called me Papa, but she still ain't getting no car from me yet.
Oh, okay. I'm like, all right. Oh, I see Minister Terry. Okay, I know that face, Minister Terry. Thank you. We're gonna let him join us. You all right, Jigs? J3. Now I gotta get used to saying J3.
You can say Jigs, J3, just as long as you don't call me late for dinner. We good.
I know that's right. Speaking of which, you just made me think of a question. All right, let me add. There you are. Hey, Mr. Terry.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
All right, Mr. Terry.
Too blessed to be stressed.
That's a little net or something. I'm sorry, y'all. You too blessed? Is that what you said, Mr. Terry?
Yes, ma'am. Because I woke up this morning, I'm able to see. I'm not in a hospital. I'm not in a nursing home. I'm not in the insane asylum. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have to make kiss butt money, and it didn't have to fight a fight this morning. So I'm blessed.
Well,
check your microphone too, Mike. Mr. Terry.
Yes, thank you for telling her that. I was going to say that too. It's most likely her. I'm only on YT. She's all over. Yeah, okay, it's probably her. Yeah. Check it, Mr. Terry. Thank you, J3.
Sound like you're underwater, bro. Sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, and you had a good message going too. You sound like you was about to come in and preach to us. Go ahead. Come on in, Minister.
Yeah, because basically I've talked about this, a 7-day revival on Eagle Soaring High's YouTube channel, and I learned it from, a female YouTuber named Lisa Real Spill and reading the Holy Bible book of Job. It's understanding the difference between a relationship and a benefitship. When people talk about money in a relationship, they always look at it from, you know, the man's point of view or the woman's point of view. We must look at it from, you know, a godly point of view, because Job's wife told Job, curse the Lord and die. She didn't have a relationship with the great Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. She had a benefitship with the great Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. She only worshiped the great Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit for the bread she could get from his table. She worshiped him because of the big house, the camels, the cows, and the sheep. She didn't worship him for who he is. And one of the main things a man needs to do in a relationship is figure out how a woman refers to you. Does she refer to you by your name, or does she refer to you by your job?
Okay, that's a good. You said a lot there, and that's a good perspective. Also, I know J3 probably would say this. Your mic is getting a little bit better. It's still a little, you know, robotic.
Sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, and we want to hear everything you have to say. Maybe you can go out.
This is just the old phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, is that me? I went out. I'm sorry, y'all. See, it's a lot of going out and in. So I have a question, because first thing, Miss Minister Terry, let me just piggyback on what you said, because you told us the difference between a benefitship and a relationship. I wondered this when I read the Bible more recently, because I know the story of Job, and I always just wonder why Job's wife said that to him, you know. But then I wonder now if you think it could have been that maybe she had caregivers fatigue, or caretakers. I think it's called caretakers fatigue, where, you know, maybe she was so tired of taking care of him, and she didn't see a bright light at the end of the tunnel, and she was just like, okay, now first I'm gonna do this. You know, she shouldn't have said that. I'm not excusing it, but I wonder if she was just so tired, she was just like, I give up, you know, and let those words come out of her mouth. Because sometimes you can say things and not mean it, but I don't know what it was. It could have been that she was just looking at the benefits. So I have a question for you two guys that are bold enough to get up here.
Now,
you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, just to mention on that, what he said, as you said, the caregiving, there's a lot of things that when you're married, I'm pretty sure they had a lot of time in their marriage. And I was wondering whether that made it sound like I was making some noise.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay. But they've been married. I'm pretty sure they had some time in their marriage. And when a woman sees a man hurting, I use my mother for example. My mother passed in 2016, and my whole family was there and everything. I'm an only child. I guess I'm adopted sisters, but I'm an only child. And to see my mother in that situation, as much as I love her, I told my mother, it's time for you to go. Mm-hmm. I love that lady right there. But the point to this, when you see her, and I saw her in that condition, and it seemed like she was just holding on. I said, it's time to go. And my mother, she was in the hospital a good while. And when I told her, actually, I was tired of seeing like that too. And I told her, Mom, it's time to go. That's something I hate to say, but the point to this, I hate seeing her suffer. And Job's wife could be in the same way. She saw her, God had a purpose for it, but she didn't understand the purpose. So therefore, she didn't want to see her husband suffer like that. And that might be another reason she'd just say, curse God and die, because she didn't have that understanding. So there's a lot in marriage, there's a lot of different ways that husband and wife approach things. I got 39 years of being with the same wife. So Mm.
No, yeah, that's a good point. And I'm glad you shared that, because maybe I didn't even think about it that way. Then maybe she just felt so bad, because that is her loved one. I mean, that's her husband. And you
Right.
don't want to see your spouse or parents or anybody that you love for that matter in a situation where, where, because he lost everything, and I'm sure she was able to see everything as it was happening. She was seeing, you know, his health decrease and him lose everything. They even lost children.
Yes.
So I'm sure as a mom and wife, she was probably like, what? This is this what we're doing right now? And I could see her just getting tired, and she threw her hands up and she was just like, I'm done. And then, like you said, maybe she just didn't want to see him suffer any longer. So that was her way of saying, I don't want you to go, but I want you to be.
Right.
I don't.
Who can say she wasn't a virtuous woman? She could have been a virtuous woman, and that also fell in line.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why I have you all on here with these perspectives. I love it. Keisha said, "Oh, you want to say something, Mr. Terry?" Oh, okay, you got quiet. Okay. Keisha said, "Nah, I'm not asking for acknowledgement, but if the host asks questions of the chat but doesn't acknowledge the answers from the chat, that's not real engagement." Yeah, I agree. That's why I like to try to stay on top of it. I like to acknowledge everybody, because you're here. You didn't have to be anywhere else, but you wanted to come hang out here. So I feel like that is what my main priority should be, like trying to engage. So I was asked before, it said no, motivate them to step up to the plate. This was back in high school. They have to learn. We can't hold their hands in everything. It paid off. Introvert child. Okay, so she's talking about the interview, because we got two different conversations going on, don't we? So I saw up here also where Keisha said, my children are so independent. They FaceTime her right before, but not actually in and out. I mean, at the interview. What in the world? I know, and I was like, okay, Andrea, think about it, because I have younger kids now, so I didn't know if that was the direction that people are going. Like, are they having? Is more than that? Is it common? I guess that's the question I'm asking. Like, is it common? So I Googled it, and it was actually a thing. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even realize, because when we went on interviews, we went by ourselves. That was, that's the job that you're trying to get. My parents had nothing to do with that. They wanted to know, okay, why are you doing the interview afterwards? But they weren't sitting there with me on the interview, and they definitely weren't sitting there telling me to put my head up and speak properly. And I mean, and I also wonder how the young adult felt, unless she was so introverted or so dependent on her mom. Because I wouldn't say I'd be embarrassed, but I would also be kind of like, well, why my mother got in here? Like, that's not her job, or she's not trying to be interviewed. So I don't know. I know it's a different role now too.
She may have been coveted so long in that house that she just trusts mom on everything, and it hurts her instead of helping her. Raising up, that's why it's supposed to be a man and woman in the house, not to cause any trouble, but two parent in the house, that you actually train a child in the way that they should go. Okay. If you don't train that child's gonna have one mindset the whole time till it grows up, and it'll hurt them instead of helping them when they become adult.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Also, to add to what you said, I can tell you all from having my husband in our household, right? My spouse, it makes a big difference, because I may see things one way, right? And then he might have a different perspective. And then, I can bring my position to the table, so can he, and we can just kind of, figure it out together. A lot of times, if you don't have it, like, it may be a certain way that only women think, right? That's why we're here now. That's why you all are up here. And a guy brings a totally different perspective to it. So I think that's important in the life of a child also, because they get to see both. And for those who don't have it, I'm not, here to bash some moms or dads, because there are dads who are single as well that have the children. And I see our other guests on the scene. So yeah, I definitely I would go with that, Jay. What you said, it's important to have both in the household if you can, right? Because and it also makes it easier. How about those days when you just like sometimes I'm like, I just need a break. I'm waiting for my husband to come to the door. I'm like, 5, 4. I have my own countdown going. I'm like, I'm tired. You coming in? Like, wait, what you gotta work? Oh, for what? What do you mean? So
I understand.
yeah, sometimes.
Just to use for example, my wife, we came into agreement. We had 2 children, but we raised a total of 5. And my wife's, we had agreement. She don't go work or anything until they all started middle school. And my wife, she didn't work the whole time until they were basically on their way to high school. And then my wife started working.
Okay, that's awesome. So she was there doing those really foundational years. Yeah, my mom did something similar. She worked a good portion when we were school, but then for some reason we were in middle school, high school, decided to stay. And I was like, I get it. I know why. But it was pivotal because we needed that. It did make a big difference. And I am also glad that I'm able to do that for my girls. I'm able to be home when if something happens, if somebody gets sick, if somebody needs something, I'm right there. So that makes sense. I want to welcome Michael Moss onto the panel. Thank you for coming in. I see you have your mic.
Yes. Thank you.
Is it Michael? Or is it Mikhail?
It's Mike. Standard,
okay.
Like the archangel.
Right, I didn't see that I there.
Yeah, I see what you said.
They might have did it, and I typed it in too fast. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to have you in here. Just let's remember, gentlemen, because I know you all will. Let's keep it clean. If you don't, I will be quick to hit that mic. I'm just letting everybody know I'm an upfront person. I just want to keep it clean. So I want to ask you all a question. I'll start it off. I'm also going to be going back and forth in the chat. I wanted to Rooted is the one who had this comment up. I guess I'll just read it because I don't want to put the comments over your faces because I'm not sure how to work this out. He said, I know as a chef, I was hiring for a position and the person came in the interview with their parent. I'm not hiring, red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag. I understand it. So I want to, hey, Eric, thank you for coming in. I see you. Okay, there we go. I can still do the chat. I just didn't know because I hadn't done StreamYard in a long time, so forgive me. But I have a question, guys. I want you to, if you want to say something, Michael, would you like to introduce yourself before I ask this question? Is there something you want to say?
Moss, new YouTuber, 57 years old, starting a podcast. Just one day engage and add my commentary to the question.
Okay.
And engage.
I'm glad.
Community.
At 57 years old, you can really add some good perspective here. So we have Michael, we have Mr. Terry, and we have J3, who is very good at doing. He's a YouTuber as well. So you all may or may not want to connect. I don't know, bro code. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But J3, before I get wrapped up and ask some questions, tell everybody what your channel is, what you do, all that good stuff.
J3GS Farm. I'm a farmer, gardener, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm a beekeeper, which is my second channel now, JGD Behaving. I'm J3GS Farms. I originally did it because of my boys, my grandboys, which I only had 3. Now I got 5. No, I got 4 boys and 2 grandgirls. That's why I came up with JGD Behaving. That's for my grandgirls.
Oh, so the 3 was a 3 for your grandsons at first?
I had 3 grandsons at the time.
You had to change it now to J5 or J6, 7, whatever. You said,
my oldest grandson, he said, Papa, you got a whole bunch of grandchildren now. I said, I'll put a plus at the end. But I never did add it. I never did it.
Plus that covers all grounds, right? Plus mean, okay, and this. So, all right, let's get started, y'all, because I have a question, and I know this might. So, thank you, first of all, Michael, for introducing yourself. Thank you, J3, for telling us this. I didn't know. And it's something how you're. I'm sorry.
I said, can I give a sound effects and give a round of applause before you start?
Oh, sure. Let me hear it.
Salute.
All right. Look at you. You got the sound.
I'm just practicing.
Okay. Well, practice. I like this. So it's something, first of all, Jay, before I ask this question, how your kids will or grandkids will inspire you to do things. I mean, that's why I started Geeky Girls Journal. That's my whole story. I did it for my girls. and with hope to reach others with the same message. So
Right.
I can appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that. So I have a question. My first question, guys, Mr. Terry gone, maybe he'll be back in a minute. But my question is, in relationships, and I'm talking about male-female relationships, what do you think, what do you consider the most important thing? Whatever your first thought is, what do you consider the most important thing in a relationship? And hey, Derek Strickland, I see you.
Are we speaking from the married portion or the boyfriend girlfriend perspective, or?
That's a good question. Take it whichever way you want. Just let us know which one it is, because it might be married people in the chat, and it may be single ladies and gentlemen in the chat. So whichever way you want to go, just let me know.
On the marriage perspective, you have to have your mind made up to be sure this is what you want to do and this is the one that you love.
Oh, that's good.
Short point.
Okay, is that it? I don't want to cut you off. I like that point.
I said short. I'm gonna keep it short and simple.
You want to keep it short? You ain't got to keep it short. I ain't got nowhere to go until 1:30. But so if you want to add to it, just let me know. I like that. That is okay, Michael.
Yes, go ahead. Could you rephrase the question again?
Yes, I just said, what do you think is the most important thing to you? What do you consider the most important thing in a relationship? And if you're single, I'm not sure if you're single, married, but
yeah, single now, but definitely trust. If you're not willing to trust the person, it's gonna go nowhere. And without that, that's the foundation. Because if you have to sleep with one eye over your back every night, you're set up for disaster. It has to be an honest, trustworthy, solid foundation. I believe that first base is trust. Just my humble opinion.
Okay, no, that's why we have you, because we want your opinion. And look, Michael, they said you got a whole setup over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a podcaster out here, so
Hey, you are a podcaster. You got to speak it into existence. Say, you got it. Mr. Terry
doing this, so that's why I wanted to jump on and build my chops up.
Okay,
new YouTubers, and I see there's a whole community of over 50 people, so kind of made me feel better because I almost quit. Did a live last week and got trolled and cursed the guy out, so I was like, this might not be for me.
Yeah, no, don't quit, because you're gonna have that. I was talking about that yesterday. Don't look at the chat. If you have those people over there, hold up, let me say this first. You're going to find that it's going to be an overwhelming majority of people that support you. That's what I find out, at least. Right. You're going to have more supporters than those that do not. So you're going to have more people uplifting you in the chat, but then you're going to have people that come in and say things. What I started doing, because I used to acknowledge it. Now I act like I don't even see it. Put the blinders on to those chats, right? You want to acknowledge the other people who are supporting you and who are coming in, right, like you are. Everybody who's here right now is supporting me. I appreciate that. I'm going to acknowledge what they say. If I scroll, my problem was I would read the chat before I actually processed it. Now I'll read it first, then I'm like, okay, that one can go. But you got to kind of filter those out, because they're in there most of the time. I find out just to distract you, kind of get you off your game. And if you read that comment, now you're going to be like, okay, what was I even thinking about? Now you're distracted. And what my husband told me, because he thought I was doing it, I'll be in the chat like, okay, well, why you crying? You shouldn't have came. You do know you can go to another channel. But instead of me saying things like that, I started changing it to say, okay, I see them over there, but I'm not going to even recognize them. I'm not going to even give them the light of day, because what they want to do is to be acknowledged. They want to continue on with the shenanigans. They want you to say the comment. I have people say my name or call all type of stuff. Yeah, they're very rude. So you just have to ignore it. Press the remove button if you feel like it's time. And then you carry on. But don't let it distract you. Keep on going. Keep on going.
Well, I just the ghetto with me was about to come out, so I kind of refrained myself. But then I turned around, ran across this community, made a clip of it and put it up on as a short, me versus the troll. And say, go ahead, I'm not gonna let this clown knock me off my square. Come on.
That's see, you did the right thing. That's how you do it. J3, he want to sell you something. Go ahead.
A little piece on that, Michael.
Yes.
One thing, keep in mind, folks can always troll you, but look at it this way: you trolling me, but you're helping me.
Truth. I never looked at it
You're
that
helping them.
way.
And you don't have to respond to them. If you get too much, you just click them off. They're going to come back as somebody else. And they're helping, even though they're trying to hurt you, they are actually helping you.
Yeah, that's just a sad existence where you have to, try. And I told him, I said, that's you, hold mirror to yourself. You're trying to degrade me. You're actually telling me more about yourself than right. I could ever tell you about me on this podcast,
So, and the thing to this, when they write in there, you don't have to respond to it. Let them just keep writing, and it's helping you.
Yeah, it is. It's helping out with your engagement.
Right.
That's engagement. Let them go ahead and keep on chatting.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Like I said, I'm 3 months into this, so.
Yeah. But see, that's why we're here. That's why you're on here today. And Rudy said, yeah, try not, you're not, try you. Oh, he says, you got this, Michael. Keep going. I'll come by and support. See, look at that. There you go. And if I knew how to drop your link, I would. But if you type GGJ in the chat, it'll drop. You did that already, right, Michael? So, yeah. And
I don't really know how to do it. So just click on the comment. I don't know how we can add. I'll find
well, if you can type, if you can see the post the comment section where you are right now, just type GGJ. You can see it. I don't know what the setup looks like for you, but even if you go out and come back, and just
like the backstage of your studio, I don't know. I don't see any chat. So.
Oh.
What are you on?
I thought I was back in.
YouTube. No. What are you? Are you on Restream or YouTube or what?
I was on YouTube on my iPhone.
Okay.
Oh, that might be why. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Michael. well, at least people know that you exist and they can go find you. Is your channel under Michael Moss?
Say again.
Is your channel actually under your name, Michael Moss?
Yes.
Okay.
It says handle is Let's Talk Podcast.
Oh, okay, so yeah, they can find you that way too.
Yeah.
And if I figure out how to drop your link, I could do that, but I don't know how to do it right now.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. But Mr. Terry, I see you're back. Well, let me see. Rooted said, okay, so he said keep going. Eric says, I'm nice to trolls and act like they didn't say what they just said. And sometimes they become great supporters. See, there you go. Yep. And then Rooted says, okay, I lost it. Oh, here it is. If you don't have trolls or haters, you're doing it wrong. Is how I look at it. That's a very good point. Okay. All right. Because you know what? That's life. We lost Michael, didn't we? Or maybe he went out to go type GGJ in. I don't have to like everything about someone to like them. I just need to find one thing about them I like and we can be friends. That's a very good attitude to have, Eric. What do you think, J3?
Well, me personally, I try to be Christ-like, so I'm gonna like everybody until you tell me don't like you.
Yeah, exactly, because we're supposed to love everybody, right? I try to be Christ-like too, and I think that, like Sean, maybe a mod could drop his name. I know, Rudy. Guess what? My mod is on the stage. Mr. Terry, he said you got to go do your job and go drop a link. Look, he's looking up. He's like, wait. Greetings, hey, Frugal Mama. How you doing? Good to see you. So, anybody have any questions? Any ladies have any questions they want to ask the men while we have them up here? Because I know J3 may have to roll out. I don't know.
I'm not. I just said 5 or 10. I mean 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, you just trying to mess me up, huh? Okay, true rooted. Let's see if anybody has a question. Or I'll ask another. Gamma, do you have a question? She said, hey, Frugal Mama. Hello. Yeah, and guys, if you want to ask a question, feel free to do that as well, because we have a lot of ladies over in the chat that might want to ask, answer the question. Mr. Terry, I don't know if I skipped you or if I asked you the question. Did you get a chance to respond, Mr. Terry? You did, because you talked about Benefitship, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to tell you now, the other two guys on that panel, they talked about what I tell you is an earthly blessing. That's a blessing that may not always be beautiful, sweet. Sometimes our blessings can sound ugly. We gotta be wise enough to see our blessing, use our blessing, and benefit from our blessing. Because says YouTube is pushing your content out. A troll says you have a consistent message. A troll says, I made it past out the algorithm, in the algorithm. So I tell people all the time, a troll is your YouTube page. You've officially made it into the YouTube algorithm.
Try to stay
Uh,
on the path.
yeah, we tried to catch most of you. It sounded like what you said was good, Mr. Terry. But
Right.
trying to catch it in between the underwater sound, the robotic sound, and we trying our best. So hopefully we got a good understanding. But at a point, I thought it was going to happen because it was clear for a minute. Then it kind of,
Yeah, it's going in and out.
yeah. All right. Well, let's see.
I think what he's saying is, once you get them trolls, you made it. I think that's what he tried to say.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
That's
It's just in my message. And the second thing is, I tell the list to everybody, know what season of life your partner is in, because like he says in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, verses 1-8, a time and a season for everything under the sun, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which you planted, a time to keep silent, a time to speak, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. So the main reason a lot of relationships and marriages fail is because people didn't understand the season of life that their partner was in, because I learned from a female YouTuber named Love Dorsey. She talked about a man must go through a building season before he enters an extension season. The building season is when a man builds the foundation of his life. He gets a job, he gets a home, he has reliable transportation, he has reliable food, reliable clothing, and reliable education. Once you get with another person, you leave the building season and you enter an extension season. So if you don't have the foundation of your life built in the building season, there's no way you can enter an extension season.
okay.
But you
Do
can
any
have
of you men?
foundation set too, and it can still fail, because I did exactly those same steps, my brother. And my marriage lasted 3 years, but it happens. Life will life, and we have to keep our stand.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, Michael, I'm glad you said that because now
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, finish your statement. Then I'll ask you. Were you finished, Michael?
Yeah, I thought I cut you off. I just wanted to question it when I get a chance.
Oh no. I was just saying I'm glad that you said that because you said you were married for 3 years, if I heard you correctly.
Say that again.
Did you say you were? Is my mic
No, you're
being
good.
weird,
It's
Terry?
Terry's involved with everybody when they're talking, and that
I'm
it's
muted.
going through his phone.
Right.
Mr. Terry, I'm gonna mute you for a second just so that we can hear everybody else clearly, okay? All right. Is that better? Yeah, that's better.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What were you saying now?
Did I mute him? Yeah, okay. I still hear it. Okay.
How many?
Okay. Is that better? Yes, it sounds like it's better. So I think I heard you say that you were married 3 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So my follow-up question is, before I do a follow-up question, Gamma said, yes, I'm good with everyone until you show me different. And then she has a question I'll ask you on in a minute. But I wanted to know if you had something, if you could do things differently, would you do them differently?
No, I'm a true believer in love. It's just, I think it was like my brother said earlier, we just was at the wrong time and space. Because right now, we're better off as friends these last, 20 years or so than we ever were as married. She was 10 years younger than me. That might have been part of it. I was solidly, in my early 30s, solid work, solid foundation, upward movement, was ready to plant my roots, built everything. Thought I found the perfect mate. life, you know. And I actually, the same chronic illness I'm dealing with now started back then. She took real good care of me now. That's why we're good friends now, you know. So life, you know. We can't let minor distractions keep us from the true nature, which is love, in my opinion.
Okay, that makes sense to me. You were just in different spaces then, is what you're saying. Okay, so we have a question from Gamma. If you all are going to take it, guys, do you have any routines in your life that help keep your mental health intact?
Ooh.
Yes. That's why I have animals. It's not the point that the animals are actually talking to me, but when you could talk to the animal. Good example. I'm also a military person, and I didn't like dealing with people at the VA, so I dealt with goats. I would talk to the goat and everything, and unfortunately, the goat act like it understand what you're saying, and the goat actually smile. And just speaking to the animals, it makes things more realistic, and that what helps me to deal with family, friends, and all other things because I can go tell the animals my problem, and I know the answer's not coming from them, but if you think about it and pray to the Lord, you'll get your answer.
Yes. I wanted to say this because I don't want to alarm anybody. You all know I said I'm real upfront. So if the person is not speaking, I just mute the other people's mic so that way we can have a real clear.
Come back, geeky girl. Come back.
Oh, internet glitch.
Yeah.
Am I back yet?
Yeah, you're back now. You're back.
Okay. Thank you, Jags. So what I was saying was I'll just mute the person who's not speaking. I'll mute the other mics. So that way we'll make sure we have a clear audio for the person that's speaking.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And I like what you said, Jags. Any other questions from the ladies in the audience? So, okay. I have a question, and I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. Let me mute you all because I know. Okay, let me mute. Okay. All right. For some reason, it's clear. So it must be Michael. Maybe it's feedback from Michael and feedback from Mr. Terry, but I just mute you. And Michael, when you're ready to talk, just put your finger up or something like that. You or Mr. Terry or whomever. That way I'll know you're trying to say something. So I've seen a lot of conversation with like women going back to work, right? And trying to decide whether or not, and I think I already know what some of you are going to say, but I don't know what everybody's going to say. Trying to decide whether or not they choose career or if they have to choose family. And I saw in comments also in articles and things of that nature where, okay, some of the men were saying they want a traditional wife. Okay, so we had two parts. Some men want a traditional wife where the man would just take care of all the bills and take care of everything that's outside of the household, right? Outdoors, they do all that. And then you have some men who said, okay, I want my wife to be traditional, but I also want her to have a career. So they want both. And then you had the women that were just a little bit like, hey, do you know how tiring that is? So my question to you, and I can understand that because at a point before I, was blessed to be able to stay home, I was working outside the home and also taking care of my family. So yes, it is very tiring. So I have a question for you all. Which one would you prefer? If you could just choose, would you prefer to have a woman that's just traditional? And when I'm saying traditional, I'm talking about, the traditional sense of a wife being at home, taking care of the household, taking care of the kids, making sure all that runs, the CEO of the house, basically, right? That's what I call myself, CEO of the house. Or would you prefer a wife that's working and then you all just figure it out? Or do you not care? Is that not an issue for you? And I'm going to mute myself while you talk. Oh, okay. Michael, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can. Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, my only marriage, well, that was traditional. I took care of everything. I had two actually 3 kids at the time. She would stay home with them. I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I told her, I said, but if you ever want to work, it's not a problem for me. You know, we can make it work, but you don't have to as long as I can handle it. But if I ever get in a position where I couldn't hold it up, I'm going to need you to step up. It came to that understanding. So I have a problem either way. You know, as long as we have those roots solidly planted from the beginning, it shouldn't be a problem either way. That's my take.
Okay, I like it. I think, okay, go ahead. Jegs, would you like to say something?
I'll let Terry go first.
Okay, let me unmute you, Mr. Terry. Thank you for being patient, Mr. Terry. It's unmuted. Can't unmute your guests because they choose to mute. Mr. Terry, you had to unmute yourself. I'm glad you did that, though. Look at you all cooperating.
I want to first of all speak on, the mental health issue. I have, a YouTube video playlist on my YouTube channel that talks about my personal experiences with receiving professional mental health services. I've talked about it on, YouTube channel named Let's Talk About It with Anita, and another YouTube channel named 5Cast. So mental health is very important, and one of the and there are 3 things that affects a person's mental health. Know what they are?
No, tell us.
The first thing is, if you read the book of Ecclesiastes, it talks about, a time and a season for everything under the sun. People don't have what I call Ecclesiastes moments in their life. I didn't learn Ecclesiastes moments from, a female YouTuber named Love Dorsey. The second thing is, people who don't, take time, to put themselves first in their life. Because usually a caregiver is a giving person, and they're like an emotional vampire. They feed off the energy of the person they're actually giving to. And the third thing is, a lot of people don't have an emotional shield in their life. If you look at a Star Trek, The Next Generation episode called Man of the People, that's how I learned about emotional pollution. Emotional pollution is any unwanted emotion that causes a physical, mental, psychological, spiritual, or financial change in your life. So some people in my family, I can't be around them because they radiate a lot of energy that causes me to be physically sick. So I have to isolate myself from them so I don't become emotionally polluted by accidentally making an emotional connection with them.
That's awesome. I think you said something that was really important, that some people do not want to isolate themselves from certain family members that may be toxic, right? Quote unquote toxic in their relationship. Or not toxic. What word
is not the word toxic. They have a high emotional output, like my second oldest sister. Sometimes I can't physically be around her because she's hollering and screaming, and I'm an empath, and an empath is like a sponge. They'll soak up the other person's emotion and become physically sick. So I have to go in my room, shut the door, turn on the TV, and wait till the storm is over. So that way I don't have to be like a drug addict and do a detox.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clearing that up, Mr. Terry. No, I really appreciate you for clearing that up, because I was thinking more toxic, but because you explained that, now I get it. So it sounds like you're more self-aware in situations like that. So if you know that kind of triggers you.
Yes, but I learned emotional pollution by watching a Star Trek, The Next Generation episode called Man of the People. There was this ambassador named Alcar, and he didn't like certain emotions. So he found a stone on a planet that allowed him to psychologically connect with another person. So all the emotions he didn't want inside of himself, he pushed it off onto another person. And the person he usually, connected with was an empath. And an empath is like a sponge. They'll soak up everything around them. And that's how I learned about the concept of having an emotional shield in the way, so that way you don't absorb another person's emotions like a sponge.
Okay. Thank you for further clarifying that. I like that. I wanted to, if we can just take a 10-second break so I can get to some of these comments, because I see that the chat is chatting and I love it. So I just want to go and acknowledge them. Do you want to say something, J3?
G Mama, she said, y'all have a good day. She's leaving.
Bye, Grandma. And Eric LaPointe said, I would love to stay at home wife so we can work as a team. My better half wants the same time. It will help us out greatly in our situation. Okay, Michael wants to say something, but I don't make enough money. Okay, hold on 1 second, Michael. Give me 1 second. I see you, and I'm going to get to you, but I don't make enough. And that's a lot of people's situations, so I know it's according to that household. I just agree that I think people should talk about it before they get into, those situations. Like, have those conversations. Sometimes people don't want to do it, but it's very smart to have that conversation up front and then decide this is how we're going to do it, right? And of course, if things happen along the way, you tweak it. Is that what you're going to say, Michael? I'm still going to come to you. Let me unmute him because he's saying something over there. Michael?
Yes, I said, yeah, you're on point. Definitely facts that you're speaking. And but I do have a question. But yeah, you're right on target with it. Communication is key. All that are building, blocks, foundational roots like the trust, communication, and honesty. So definitely continue. You want to roll?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm just one of those people that I really believe in honesty. Like, that's my foundation. Honesty. That's why when you both were saying it, Jake, everybody was saying it. Honesty, trust. I grew up like that. My father used to be like, it's nothing worse than a liar. And I know why he said that. It could be something worse than a liar. But to me, he was saying, don't lie, be honest. And that's the foundation. Like, if I'm honest with you, I'm not trying to misguide you. I'm not trying to do anything malicious. This is just me being with my truth and me saying this is what I want or what my expectations are. And I think that if people are upfront with what they really want, they will cut out a lot of those other issues. Stop trying to say what you think people want you to say or you think they want to hear, and just tell them the truth. And then they can make the better choice for them, right? If they want to stay in a situation, even though you told them the truth, that was their choice. But now at least you were honest about it, and that's it. Like, what do you do from there? You figure it out. So I don't know. I say all that to say I do realize that life happens and you have to make adjustments along the way, but have those conversations ahead of time is my point. And Michael or anybody else, if you want to say something, okay.
I do have a question. I had posted this on a live I did on Facebook last week about, I see these shorts and interviews with these women talking about the value of a high value man. And I said, well, what are their definition of a high value man? And what are they doing to maintain or to increase the value of that man once they find a high value man? And what is their perception and definition of high value man?
That's a good question. Would you like me to answer? I can tell you what my perspective is. I guess I'm the only woman.
Yeah, I think you're the only female up here.
I'm the only one that got that part. Okay, so hey, Miss Lynn. I want to say hi to Miss Lynn first, because Miss Lynn is such a great supporter. Hey, Miss Lynn, how you doing? So, ladies, if you want to chime in the chat, this is a good time for you to do that. But I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on that. When they say a high value man, because I've been saying the same thing. I was going to ask you all about the masculine energy thing and whatever else, feminine energy. Okay, so my ideal of a high value man, first of all, I need you to love Jesus. So I know a lot of people put other things into different orders. For me, it's loving God first, because if you love God and you have that relationship with God, then you're going to treat me right, or you're going to treat me the best way you know how. And I'm talking about, I don't want you to just be like, I love God. I don't want it to be lip service. I want you to really, really have a good relationship with God. Because I know that's what's made the difference for me. Because if you love God, He's going to guide you. You're going to have conversations with Him. You're not going to feel comfortable with talking to me any kind of way. You're not going to feel comfortable with treating me a way that is inappropriate. You're not going to feel comfortable with being disrespectful in certain situations. Why? Because you're going to be convicted. You're going to be convicted. So for me, a high value man is that it starts with God. That's my foundation. I know some people say money. It's not about the money for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the money for me. I want you to be led of the Spirit. That's what I want. And then those other things that don't come after. I said that's what I want. I already had that. I'm just saying, if I were single, if I were single, that is what I would be looking for, because God is not going to allow you to just do anything. I mean, and I can say that speaking from my perspective, there's some times I want to just tell somebody off, but he'd be like, shh, be quiet.
Not just yet.
Right, not just yet. Hold your mouth. And I'll be like, but God, and he'd be like, no, be quiet. And I can give it to you. I got a mouth on me. But I've learned that in my relationship and my development, my transformation with God is He's going to correct those things that you want to do. Those things, even if you're trying to be the best person ever, you still might slip up. So I'm just using it from my perspective and saying that if He corrects me and my mistakes and wants me to be a better person, I know that that spouse that I'm potentially looking for, if they had their relationship with Christ, that's the one I want to go with. That's the winner for me. And all those other things will come. You know, it's not about if you're a millionaire. You could be a millionaire and be the suck and be the worst person ever and treat me like dirt. I don't want that. I would never want that. I'd rather walk around with a Kmart shirt. Who Kmart still exists? A shirt on from Kmart and have to do my own hair, which I do, and just eat noodles, as opposed to having somebody who would treat me like trash. That's never acceptable. So that's what I think a high value person is. Man is. I know other women say different. That's just what I think. Anybody in the chat that's a woman want to chime in, since we had them in men. What do you think is a high value woman? While I'm waiting.
Well, I'm gonna take it back to your original question on what is it? What type of woman you want? Whether you got one working a traditional woman or whatever. I'm taking it back there. Like I said, me and my wife, we got married. I was in the military, and I was in the infantry, and I was always gone. My wife just sitting in the house, she's gonna lose her mind. My wife, she got a job. So this is before the kids came. And I understand it's not always that she didn't get the job just because she needed money, but she got the job so she could have something to do. And then we came along when the kids started coming. I think you ought to stay home. I want to stay home. But the thing to it is, we came to the agreement that you have to be here. Me being in the military and gone all the time, coming home. And then even when I left the military and went to the civilian world, it was supposed to have been an 8-hour job. But at times I started being away for 12, 14 hours. And as long as there's somebody in the house to keep things in line, we good. But the woman that I want, I like to have a traditional woman. But if the time and society don't let us have it that way, because a man is going to take care of his home and everything, but if his finances is not reaching that goal, it's a woman's responsibility to help her husband the best she can. She done cut back on groceries, cut back on buying this, that, and other, and we're still not making it. So she said, I get out, I work a little job. My kids, they're in school or whatever, and she'll be back home before they get out of school. There's no problem with that. As long as we're working together. As they say, that wife is that backbone. My wife is my backbone. She what keeps me straight. Because being the man of a house, there's a lot of problems that come along in the family, outside the family, where it's your responsibility to take care of it. I'll give you a good example. When me and my wife, we were young and we were going from Georgia to New York to Chicago and all this stuff. And she said, well, I like to go see my family. And I'm looking at my bank account. We ain't got no money. But then all of a sudden, she said, here you go. I said, huh? I said, where you get that from? Never mind. My wife, she saved the money. So if we wanted to go someplace, we have money to go. She know. I told my wife at one time, I said, you handle all the finances. She said, She put up a whole spill. No, it ain't my job to do that finance. I ain't doing this. And when times kind of got hard again, I said, you handle. She said, nope. So I start handling finances, and everything just worked out. And my wife, the kids are grown, high school and everything. So she didn't like being home all the time by herself. So she got a job, and everything worked out. I retired. She retired. She said, I ain't gonna keep working and you retired at home. So it kind of leveled out.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think Michael had something to say, or he was just congratulating you. And the men in the chat seem to be in agreement with what you said, J3. And I'm a woman. I agree with
What's up, Big Rooster?
Yeah, what's up, Big Rooster? I have to make sure I say, hey, I ain't say hi to you yesterday. Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that it's the man's, they're taking care of home when they can, but it's our responsibility to also jump in and help. I'm not going to let this ship sail, because it is also my household. So I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do. I ain't saying I'm strange for some change, but I'm just saying if I had to go
legal way.
Yeah, if I had to go get a little job on the side, something that's going to help out, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to be like, oh no, that's on you. It's too bad. No. We're a team, and that's how it should be. And I had to tell you guys, if you ever wondered when a woman stays home, it is a sacrifice if you grew up the way I did. Like, I grew up thinking and knowing that I had to have my own. I want to make my own money. I want to have this career. And for my husband, I probably gave him the blues. That poor, oh God help him. Like, he just really stuck with me because I was like, no, I want to make my own money. I want to make my own check. Before you came, I had this, I had that, I can make it. And I still know that I could if something were ever to happen. But he was like, no, stay home, because we could afford to do it. We can now. And it's a blessing. I'll get you, Michael. And it's a blessing. And I had to just start realizing, okay, he would be like, my money is your money. And I'd be like, no, your money is your money. My money is my money. Unknown caller. But also, we both decided that it was best for me to stay home and do things in the house. So I'm just glad that I had the opportunity to do that. So I just wanted to say, guys, if you think, I don't know, it might be a portion of women who come home and kick their feet up and don't do nothing. I'm not one of those, because I work, I still like to do things. I make things move. So for me, it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice for me to say, okay, I'm going to stay here and do this. I felt like now I'm missing a paycheck. Now I can't just go out and spend frivolously, right? Because that's what I was doing with a lot of, like, just shopping. Hey, I'm gonna grab this, grab that. Still had tags on a lot of stuff. Now it's more, okay, do I need this? I think about it more, and I'm still blessed. Like, that's why I said I cannot complain. I still have everything I want, and even those things that I just desire, I have it all. I don't miss the money. You know what I mean? Like, it's like God blessed me to be here, but He also provides, and He provides through my husband, and we're taken care of. So I guess I'm saying this because if there are women out there that are struggling with this same situation, trying to figure out if I have to choose my career or if I had to choose home. And if you're leaning more towards being at home, there are women who just want to do the career. I understand that, but I'm saying if you are in limbo and trying to figure out which way you should go, you can still make it. You may have to cut down a little bit at first and budget, but you're going to be provided for. And I believe, in the way that it's supposed to be set up, man is the head of the household. I might catch some heat for that, but that's what I believe. I believe the man is the household. Who is the head of him? It's God. For me, that might not be what everybody else thinks of. I'm just saying, that's Andre. Michael, would you like me to unmute you? Let me see where Michael at.
Yeah, as you were saying, yeah, good points there, because I definitely have to find a balance when it comes to things like that, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be that backbone. And that was the situation in my marriage. I told her, I said, You don't have to work, but if you ever feel like you need to, that's on you. She went to go to school and get a degree and things like that. And if I ever fell, and when I, because I came from a, entrepreneurial background. So, but by the time I got married, I was more into industry. I found a job in the South that made 6 figures back in the early 2000s. So that was good enough for me to where I said, okay, I can do this. And, not be my own boss and really settle down. So, then when I wanted to get back into entrepreneurial space, the first thing I did was ask her, would you support me leaving this job? And if it get tight, because I want to go back into doing business for myself. She gave me the okay, went for it, and, it's just having that understanding. Like I said, communication. But also, I wanted to hear about that value of a man and putting value back into that man once you find that high value man. See, these women these days, to me, seem like all they want to do is subtract from the value of the man. They don't want to increase it. That's just me. These modern women.
I was muted. I just realized I was just about to start up too, Jay. But I'm on the opposite side of that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here on this YouTube channel. I'm just saying I'm on the opposite side of that because I just like to build up people in general, whether you're a woman or a man. But especially if you're my man, please. To me, my husband is a reflection of me, as I'm a reflection of him. So I'm not gonna let my husband go out there looking raggedy. I'm not gonna let my husband, have lack, whatever it is that I can provide. If he needs that emotional support, I need to be there to build him up. If he needs financial support, I need to be there to kick in into second gear. I will leave this in a heartbeat to go say, okay, if that's what he needs me to be, that's what I'm going to be. Because that is my first priority. Like I said, I have to always go back to prioritizing. What is it first? God, family, business, hobbies, whatever. So as long as I keep those things in perspective, for me, it's all good. But what you said, how do you put back into that man? All right. I grew up thinking my father was Superman, right? And he is still my Superman in my life, and my husband is too. So I think sometimes it may be that for many women where you see a man, you're like, okay, they got it, they don't need the support, but they're human just like we are. Men have emotions, and a lot of men have been taught not to cry. A lot of men have been taught not to wear their emotions on their sleeve. However, the truth is that they are still a human being. God gave us emotions just as he gave men emotions. Now, men may not be as outright with their emotions as women are, but they still have them. You all might camouflage them. I don't know. But if I see that, my husband is lacking mentally or needs that emotional support, I'm going to be there to give it to him. What do you need? What do you need from me in this situation? Do you need me to just slow it down? Okay, let me try to work on that. Because my husband's like, sometimes you just too much. I come in hot. you doing too much. So I know, okay, let me pull back a little bit. He might come in from work, had a hard day. I'm ready to go. I'm like, hey, we need to do boom, 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 boom. The kids gotta be here. Let's do that, do that, do that, do that. I got a whole lineup. But he's like, hey, just give me 20 minutes, right? So I think, in answer to your question, it is that job of that woman or that man to step in when needed and to build the other person up. We're not supposed to be in this alone. We're relational. That's my take.
Okay. Can I throw a wrench in here right quick?
Sure.
And that wrench is, we say traditional and this new world woman. For what you said, Mike, the wrench is they have put it where you don't need a man. You don't need no husband. You can do it all yourself. And it's basically to split up our family, if you understand what I'm saying, our families. And the wrench is thrown in there to tell you that you don't need that man. So I don't want to say nothing wrong, but just to separate you, that in the society that we're in, you don't need a man, you don't need a daddy in the house and all this stuff, which is wrong. You need a mother and a father in the house that you can do things the right way, that you can raise children the right way. But they have thrown it in there. You don't need that man. You can make your own money. You can do what you own. You can do what you want to do and all this stuff. Another piece of that is this food stamp, this here in Georgia is the peach and all this stuff, welfare. It was not intended for you. A correction, it was not intended for us. But we have taken over massively. It wasn't made for us, it was made for them due to the war. But it's something that they used so that you don't need that man in the house. And this younger generation is thinking that way. I don't need a man. And that is what messing up their mindset. So when they actually do meet a man, that's where the big problem comes in at. Just to throw that wrench in.
No, thank you for your perspective. I think it needed to be shared. You're not going to hear me saying that you don't need a man in the household. I'm just going to put it out there. I grew up in a household with my father. I'm so glad that I grew up in a household with my father, because my father was able to give me those things that my mom could not give me. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I grew up in a house with her, but they're two totally different people. So when my father used to, especially if you have girls, I don't have boys. I'm just saying, if you have girls, I know I am a daddy's girl at heart, and my father really built me up. He really did. My mom did too, but I'm just saying it's a different way. My father would be like, "You beautiful. You know, you got that magic, girl. And you know, he would just say stuff like that to reassure me, so that when I did start dating and start looking for a spouse, I wasn't just accepting anything, because my father already had the standards so high that I would be like, "What? I don't need what you offering. You know, my daddy does it. Like, I didn't feel like I was dependent on a man." And maybe that could be a little bit where that comes from. But I'm saying it as far as if you weren't at a certain standard, that's all. I'll just say it that way. If you weren't at a certain standard for me, I wasn't even going to look your direction, because, and I'm not even talking about money again. I'm talking about, do you have a great personality? Do you treat me with respect? You know, I'm not shallow where it's just financial. That stuff is something that we can work out. Are you good? How do you talk to your mom? That was something that's important to me. How do you talk to your mom, right? Because the way you treat your mom is probably how you're going to treat me, or how you're going to talk to me. So I know what you're saying about that, the generation that's talking about, you know, I don't need a man. And no, that is so far from, I want to say the truth for me. It's so far from the truth for me.
It's far from the truth. Yes.
Yeah, that's that's a divisive tool to split families up.
Yes.
That's what that is. That's a divisive tool. Mr. Terry, you've been quiet. Thank you so much. That's a divisive tool. I'm not a person that subscribes to that. If somebody does not have a man or a woman in the house, you know, I know that certain situations cause for those things to happen. But I'm saying, for me, as for me in my house, I love having my husband in the household, because he gives my daughters something that I cannot give them. Right. He gives them, I nurture them. I do all those things. I'm the mama, right? I do a lot of stuff, but he also gives them the same thing that I was saying my father gave me. He gave me that. I was confident, because he'd be like, "No, you don't accept that." You know, he would tell me things from a man's perspective. So now I'm like, I know what to watch for. Oh no, my daddy told me that. No. So he balanced the field. So I wouldn't come in there kind of, you know, not knowing anything. I'm just kind of like, wait, hold up. No, my daddy told me that this was going to happen. Or, you know, this is not acceptable, because my father said this is what people look for. And I'll be like, okay, no, I'm not going to go down that road. So like I said, where he could tell me certain things because he was a man, that my mom couldn't tell me, I got the best of both. And sometimes I think that is what's lacking. Do you need to say something, Jay? Oh, I saw you lean up. I thought you were
I was reading.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I better say something in the chat. So yeah, that's my perspective, you all. I have to say, I'm glad that I have my spouse in the household, because it does make a difference. For those who do not, I'm not trying to judge you. I'm not saying anything. It's your life. I'm minding my business over here. I'm just saying what works for me. My husband and I work together to raise these children. And I'm telling you, when I say I'm glad when he comes in that door, I'm like, woo, thank you. Thank you, Lord. I love it when my husband comes home, because we're a team. We work together. If I had God, he knows me. He knows that if I don't know, if I had to do it by myself, I'm sure I could get it done. But I needed that teammate. he was the person that was made for me to raise these 5 girls. So I'm appreciative of that. I know I went off on a tangent, but let me see what the comment is saying. And then Michael, I'll unmute you because I feel like you wanted to say something. Okay. Terry, Mr. Terry, you good? Okay. So Frank G says people can give you red flags and bad vibes when you are around them. Keisha says I'm an empath as well, and I use things like chimes, bells, and white noise to block certain things from other people. Big Rooster, hey, Geeky Girls, I saw him over there in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
He's just speaking. Is there anything that any of you working together? That's right, Frank G. I'm gonna unmute you, Mike, and just in case you want to say something, Michael. So Frank G said working together. Keisha just saying, hey, happy Wednesday to everybody. And I think that's Keisha says this. Okay, let me unmute you, Michael, just for 1 second. Michael, if you want to say something, just put your little the church thing up. You know what that is? Okay. All right. Keisha said, my husband prefers a traditional wife, but he loves and has one that is not the typical traditional wife. I need my financial independence, which includes helping at home when necessary. And then Lisette said, I can agree. I can agree on the part about family comment. That's for you, J3. Okay. Miss Betty says she back. I'm back. All right, and I'm keeping up with the chat. Thanks to you gentlemen that are in here giving us all this perspective. Thank you very much. Because of you, I'm not too far behind in the chat. And and we are, more importantly, we getting all this wonderful perspective up here. So, Mr. Terry, did you want to say something? Put your finger up if you do. Then I might mute everybody else because you look like you. Okay, you do. I thought so. All right, I'll mute myself and I'll. Mr. Terry, you had to unmute yourself too.
Yeah.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah, because Geeky Girls Journal, you can't mention your marriage emotionally whole because I said talking about having a foundation of your life built is not just financially, it's spiritually, it's socially, it's psychologically, and it's relationally. So you were able to make your marriage work because you came in emotionally whole and you had the foundation of your emotional house completely built. And this is one thing I tell all the girls in my family. They must understand the 8 wounds of life that every lady should know. Do you know what those 8 wounds of life are?
No, tell us.
The 8 wounds of life is first, a person should understand the kitchen. That's one. If a lady can't, really cook or provide something in the house, a man's gonna go somewhere else to get it. Second is, she must be trustworthy in the bedroom. A man doesn't want a loose woman running around that might give him, an STD. And he wants a woman that understands the classroom, must be able to think for herself and have common sense, must understand. Fourth, the boardroom, must be willing to work and not be lazy, because no man wants a lazy woman. If she works in the house, she keeps the house clean. If she works outside the house, she goes to the job, works the job, and brings the money home. Then you have the bathroom. That's basically where a man, one woman to be, keep her appearance up and keep, her, personal hygiene up. Then you have the laundry room. That's where a woman, isn't, messy, and she takes care of, her surroundings and keeps herself clean. Then you have, the prayer room. You want a person that you can trust, because would you be in a relationship with a person you could not trust? and you want a person that deals with, the nursery room, because there's a lot of times men will get with a woman and she'll already have children. Look at the children. If the children look dirty or the children look unkept, that's a woman that can't be trusted, because if she couldn't take care of life that came outside of her, that came out of her womb, how can she possibly be trusted with anything else? So if a woman understands the 8 rooms, the 8 rooms of life, every woman should know, they will have a much better relationship, because one of the things I did was I studied what made a successful marriage, and those were the things that a woman does. Now, the thing that a man does is he has to be a provider, a protector, and a leader, because the leader of the house isn't necessarily a man. The leader of the house is a person who's following God. You got some men like a caveman says, I'm the leader. Woo, I'm the leader. You know what the question is? Where are you leading me to? Is this man leading me towards God, or is this man leading me toward hell?
Okay, Mr. Terry, thank you for that perspective. And I knew you were going to throw this chat on fire when you start giving them 8 rules for women. I'm going to unmute you too in a minute, J3. I saw Michael's hand up. I'm going to come to you all in 2 seconds. Just let me say this. I had to keep my mic mute. Mr. Terry, now you know. Okay. You know what? I'm going to hold it in and I'm going to let these gentlemen go. But I also want to, let me hit the chat. I'm going to unmute you, man. But did you see that chat over there? Andre, hold your mouth for a second. Okay, this one I need to hold on, because I knew it was going to happen. Mr. Terry really said what other men might want to say, so I'm glad he said all this. Women,
I said because I did the actual research, because I had a successful marriage between my mother and my father, and I looked at different shows on television where they talk like the divorce court and things like that. When you look at people who got divorced, 3 or more of those rooms a woman didn't take care of.
Okay, all right, women. J3 and
I just want to know one thing. Betty J asked the question, Terry, are you married?
Yep.
I'm not married, but I've seen successful marriages in my family, and one thing is I've seen marriages that went up in flames, and I studied because I told myself, when I get married, I'm getting married for life. I'm not getting married 2 and 3 times, go get a divorce, get back with another person.
Okay. Well, he's trying to come in and now I'm going to mute his mic because I feel like some people have some things to say. Start with Miss Betty and then I'm going to J3 and Michael. I saw your hands. I know it was getting hot. I know Mr. Terry set it on fire. I could see everybody's face and he probably felt it too while he was saying. So Miss Betty had a whole bunch of questions coming back to back to back. Here we go. Is Mr. Terry married? He said that. What is the rule for men? I think he started to go into that and I hope maybe he can help clear some of that up because he was laying it hard on the women. All right, next, Frank G was just laughing because he just said, okay, here we go. Frank G, wow. And Miss Betty asked another question. What if she becomes ill? Okay, now, because I have heard that side of what Mr. Terry said from other guys. Like, I want a woman who cook and clean. But most of the time when I hear they want a woman that can cook, clean, got a career, can do all the things. So then I'm like, okay, so well, when's she supposed to rest? When's she supposed to get a little bit of rest? Because we do understand that women get tired. We are super women, but we also get tired. Now, again, I said, if you are there to help your husband, you're a helper. But Mr. Terry gave us all those, how many? It was 8 rules? I knew it was 8
rules.
He gave us 8 rules. Miss Betty is over there. Look, she's chiming all the way in. So, Michael, I'm going to pull you in 1 second. Miss Betty said, I will remain single then. And that is what a lot of women think, too, when they hear all this stuff rattled off. You want me to do what? You going what? Okay, I might as well stay in my own house. And then I got to clean up I ain't got to take care of nobody else. I could just, clean up my part. I ain't got to worry about all the cooking, whatever they want to do. I don't know. I don't want to speak for all of them because I'm only one. And so, hey, girl, I want to say hi to you before I forgot. Thank you for coming in. Now, Michael, because you've been sitting there holding it in, I'm coming to you right now. All right, I'm going to mute my mic. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, my brother, them 8 rules off the chain. You overanalyzing it. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's has to be that many rules involved in that situation, but you took it there, so I'm gonna have to speak on it. I think you can round that out to like 3 simple things: spiritually grounded, emotionally, and physically. And from there, you can grow with that, man. You went a little deep into it and left stage, right stage, and kind of, I think you overanalyze the situation. You can keep it a lot simpler. And I don't think life is that difficult if we find the right mates based on those tenets. They don't have to be 8. I think 8 is a little bit much, and you went way deep with it. That's just my opinion, but I had to get that off.
Thank you for your perspective. I had to remember to unmute my mic because I'll start talking again. Thank you. But you know what? I just thought about, at least if that's what Mr. Terry really believes, he knows exactly what he's looking for, doesn't he?
True.
He knows exactly what he wants. Now, you might still have to knock some of them things off, Mr. Terry. I'm just going to tell you because people not. Go ahead, J3. Looks like you got something to say.
If that's everything he's looking for, he might not find what he's looking for. Mr. Terry, I know we think different and we do things different, but out of them 8, I might have to go with just 1 or 2. But
I know Mr. Terry left for everybody's speeches, didn't he? Mr. Terry, you came in with a rubber slammer.
I come back from, I just hit one point. Whether she make a bunch of money or not, if you're a man and woman in the house, the man is supposed to be the head of the house. If you're talking about the word of God, the man is the head of the house. If you don't respect that man as the head of the house, you're not following the word of God. So if you're in line with the word of God, that man is the head of the house. If the wife got and working, she make more money than the man, he's still the head of the house. When it comes...
All right. Well, I'll mute him and you can come back. Oh, okay. There we go. You put your finger up when you're ready, J3. I'll read the comments over here. Frank G says, if she becomes ill, a man should help out around the house with the kids and some of the money. Now, I'm going to say, Frank G, I agree with that. And I also agree with this. If, let's say, the wife and the man has chosen for both parties to work outside the household, right? For the wife to work and the man to work, or the girlfriend to work and the boyfriend. I don't know how people do. So either way, if both people are working, do you all think that the chores, like Frank G just brought out, the chores should be split? Like the men should still help out with the chores and help out with the kids if both parties are working. Do you all think that that is a fair arrangement? Okay, let me see. Michael put his thumbs up for yes. J3, I'm gonna unmute you because I think you probably are right now.
Yeah, we good now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm having a great time here with you all. My daughter just texted me and said I don't have to come till 2. Okay, Miss Betty says, I have been married for over 30 years. I'm glad that I did not meet Miss Betty. Oh, Lord.
I can understand what she's saying. I can understand
what she's saying, but you know what? Also, I can understand what Mr. Terry is saying because we're all different, right? That is why it's important to have those kind of conversations. Because what if somebody came into it? Let's say Mr. Terry was dating, right? And I'm just using you for an example, Mr. Terry, if you don't mind. I'm only using it because he gave us the list of 8 rules, right? What if the person came into his life and they're like, I'm not doing all that. I'll do 3. I'll do 3 of the rules, but I'm not doing all that. Who you think I am, your mom, right? She could definitely go that way. So then are you going to make adjustments? I think that's, like I said, where you have to have those hard conversations. And it won't be hard for somebody like me because I want to know ahead of time. I'd like to know more. The more information, the better choice I can make. Some people just don't like confrontation. They don't want to address those things head on, but I think you should talk about the finances. You know, Who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay for that? What happens when this happens? We brought that up later on. Are we going to budget? Are we going to allocate funds to certain things? Like if you plan on having kids later, do you want to make college accounts? Do you want to do, talk about everything? Whatever it is that you think about, you ask that person that question and you get an understanding, because if they're thinking we got 8 rules to abide by and you thinking, oh, I got 2, there's going to be some conflict in there. It's already conflict, right? Because you got 2 different people coming together. So it's best to have all those key points and have all your questions met ahead of time, like far as possible.
So let me ask you, am I wrong? Because my wife, she does the house chores, she does the cleaning, she does everything. But on Thursdays and Friday, I tell my wife straight off the bat, I'm cooking. I give her a break on Thursday and Friday. That's my day to cook. She didn't ask me to do it. She didn't tell me I need to do it. It's just me. She does everything she's supposed to do in the house, so I'm giving her a break. Like I'm retired, so my thing is everything inside the house is hers, everything outside the house is mine, but I still have work to do inside the house. Because many times I used to tell my wife, do not cut the grass. That was a form of exercise for me. I come home, the grass is cut and everything. All I can do is shake my head. She wanted exercise too. So there's a lot that a man have to do in the house, outside the house. But the part where we come together is, okay, darling, the house is inside the house is yours. I take care of everything outside the house. But just because you tell her she take care of everything in the house, you still have responsibilities in the house as being the head of the house.
I agree with you, J3. And I'm going to give you all an example. I had never cut grass a day in my life until probably last year. That was my first time ever cutting grass, because my father cut the grass. I had a brother who cut the grass. He never made us cut the grass. In fact, I didn't even know how to turn on the lawnmower. And my husband wanted to, okay, this is another thing that I said. Sometimes men think about things women don't think about. And my husband was like, I want my daughters to know how to cut grass. I want them to know how to change tires. I want them to know how to do all those things. Because what if you don't have a man that's present in your life? How are you going to do all those things, right? And you have to figure it out. You can. But for me, I'm using myself for an example. I didn't know how to cut the grass. I didn't want to cut the grass because I have this thing called terrible allergies. But it took last year, my husband, I think he was sick. Something happened. He was sick or at work, had to work late. And I'm like looking at the grass and he kept saying, I need the grass cut. I'm going to cut it. I always relied on him doing it. So I was like, you know what? It would be nice if I cut the grass for him. Because he does it. He takes great care of all the outside things and he helps out in the house. I'm like, it's not beneath me to cut the grass. I can figure it out. Right. So I'm like, okay, how do you do this? I figured out how to start it. I called him at work. I was like, how do you start the lawnmower? He told me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this. And he didn't think I was going to cut it because, again, I've never cut it in my life. Didn't touch one, wouldn't go near one. And I cut the grass that day. I felt accomplished. We have a lot of yard. And he came home and he was just like, a smile on his face. I would have cut the grass 10 times over just because of that, And I felt like, hey, I'm actually helping him out. I had to step in because it was something he couldn't do in that moment. And I didn't have an issue with that. Now I just cut the grass last week. He didn't ask me to cut the grass, but I wanted to cut it. I wanted to cut it to help out because he takes care of business, what he has to do. So why would I not want to contribute and help out? If it's something that I see he can't get to immediately, I'm not going to let my house look a mess just because I'm like, oh, I don't cut grass. I'm a princess. I'm cutting that grass. And ladies,
hey backbone.
That's right. Backbone and neck. And ladies, let me tell you all a little secret. It gave me some me time. I was out there listening to podcasts, sermons while I'm cutting the grass. And it was a nice breeze. I was able to be one with nature, whatever people want to say. I was out there cutting the grass, getting my steps in, exercise. So I hit a couple of those things just by cutting the grass. Mm-hmm. And I came in, I was like, I felt like a better person. All right, I see you, Michael. Let me get you. I'm going to mute myself in a second. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely gave him life and really made him feel special by doing that. Like I said, it's a balance. We all have to find our balance in life, and that's what the universe is based on. You're going to have a good, bad day, night, So finding that balance is a beautiful thing. And I can't stay too much longer, but I appreciate you letting me come in on your platform and give my perspective on these things. And,
Well, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Having, all you men step up and give your perspective. That's important to me because I know that we have questions as women, and sometimes we just think differently. So,
questions these days.
yeah, and even GA Girl said, "What's the topic?" So the topic, GA Girl, is we just pulled these men up. Well, they volunteered after I asked humbly if they can come up, and they were just giving their perspective on different questions I asked that I thought women may ask, or I took some of the questions from the chat, and then they just gave their perspective. And my hope was that if a woman is watching this, they can, learn something from it, and maybe it will shift their perspective or answer some questions. So that's what the topic is. We kind of just speaking on right now. Mr. Terry, you had something to say? You look like you're a little antsy over there. And thank you, Michael. If you had to leave, thank you so much for coming on. I enjoyed it. We'll see you later. J3, do you have to go? Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. I had you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just chilling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look, my time just got extended. My daughter said I don't have to get her until 2:25, so I don't have to get off until 2 o'clock. So until 2, is that fair? You have time until 2 o'clock, or you okay? So we'll be here until 2 unless we stop before that. I just say at the max. The maximum time is 2. We gotta get out of here. So did you want to say something, Mr. Terry?
Yes, ma'am. Your experiences of cutting the lawn, room number 3, the boardroom, not being lazy. The boardroom is about is a woman lazy or the one woman willing to work in the home or work outside the home. Just confirm with your experience of cutting the grass. You're helping him out and you're saving him physical energy by not being lazy. So you covered the 3rd room. Is not the 8 rooms of every woman should know. It's the 8 rooms. ROOMS.
Oh, okay, rooms.
So how about if your house only got 4 rooms?
If your house only got 4 rooms, you only got to abide by 4 of them. Yeah, true. I have never heard the rules before in my life. See, I'm glad we all thought it was rules, RULES. Well, I thought. I can't speak for everybody else. So you said rules.
Because ROOMS, 8 rooms of life. Everyone should know. And one sentence confirmed number 3. The boardroom not being lazy. The boardroom says, I'm willing to work, I'm willing to help out. I'm not willing to push everything onto the other person.
Well, because I'm one of those women. I'm about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about it. That's all I can say. I thought about Master P.
I'm glad you got that straight because I thought you said rules too.
Me too.
I just realized now when I walk in the house, I got to see what room my wife's sitting in to adjust my day.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that make a difference. See, I like having the men up here.
I'm glad you said rooms.
Yeah, me too. I think that might make a difference with some of us, Mr. Terry. The rooms. I said rule. Everybody's like, wait, it's also a choice of words. Rooms make it sound a little bit more, nicer. But rules.
Think about it. If a man came to you and he would want to have relations and he was dirty, would you really lay down with him? No. That covers the bathroom.
Okay, that's a good point.
If a man come in and want, well, let me
right. Let's just
you didn't specify. You didn't specify, so you're right.
Yeah,
because that's the bathroom. Hygiene. That's the bathroom. And the laundry room is, do you keep your surroundings, neat and proper? Because nobody wants to be around a person who's a slob. These guys gotta clean up behind them. So the laundry room is where you go to make things clean, like cleaning clothes.
Right. So these rooms, ROOMS, I want to say rules, also apply to men. Ladies, they apply to men too. We don't want a dirty, nasty smell. So Wellness with Frugal Mama said they really are basic things women should do. Keep herself, children, and home well kept, communicate straight, support, not seeing the problem. There we go. Well,
because Frugal Mama makes that every day with their YouTube. Show it for yourself.
Yeah, Frugal Mama said ain't no problem. She don't see the problem. All right. Anybody else? Let's see. Miss Betty said it is so much more than those 8 rooms. Now I get what he's saying though. But yeah, so yeah, it's so much more than that. But I think that can be the foundation for him. I like the fact that you said rooms. Now that makes it a little bit different for me. That makes it different because when you say rules, it's kind of like you putting a hammer down on somebody, But if you say rooms,
ROOMS, rooms,
yes.
Rooms.
Yes, we're clear now. We got
that now because I'm a male too. But I thought you said rules, and
I'm telling you,
I'm not gonna tell my wife you follow these rules right here. If you don't follow these rules, hit the door. I'm not doing it.
Exactly. That's a smart man because that's the quickest way to be like, get that look. What? I thought because I almost did it right here when he said it. Like, I had to keep my composure for a second. Mr. Terry, I said, wait, let me fix it up, Andrea. God was like, not yet. Don't do it. All right.
One thing is the last room is, the prayer room. That's about, can a person be trusted and can a person be respected? If I can't respect you, I don't trust you. If I don't trust you, I don't respect you. So that goes into the prayer room.
Okay. I like.
Come on back.
Am I back? Am I back yet?
Okay, you're back now. You're back.
Yeah.
I tell you what, and it's not helpful. We've changed services so many times trying to get this thing right. My husband has been so adamant about trying to give me what I need, and it's like they all like, okay, we can't do that for you. Like, what you want us to do? Chop the trees down? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, chop them down. Yeah, do it. So J3, that is what my husband do. Give me a break. Love him for that. Miss Betty, I don't think any woman that would be in this chat would disagree with that. I love it when my husband give me a break. I told him, my husband will ask me stuff like, he's a gifter. And he's like, what do you want? What do you need? He just buys things. I'm like, no, listen, we're talking about love languages, right? My love language is acts of service, I believe, because I would prefer when my kids ask me, Mom, what do you want for your birthday? You never want anything. I never want anything. I always want the same thing. I want a clean house that I ain't have to clean. Mm-hmm. Do that. I don't want to have to pick anything up after anybody. And they are all good. They know that's my thing. So that's what my break is. Yeah, give me a break. Take the kids. My husband, when I used to go live, and he still does, he'll just take the kids out of the house. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, because just that gesture was more helpful than buying me anything. Now, I like to eat. He knows he can buy food. He can win my heart with food. But if you clean up the house, and if you take those kids for a second, woo! I love him for that. I just do. And I love when I don't have to say it. He just knows, like, okay, I know she needs it. So that's important. Men, tell you, food, take those kids out, clean up that house. We love it.
Well, my kids are grown, but
you ain't worried about that.
The thing with it, my wife said, I'm tired. I don't feel good. I got a headache. I do the cooking, or if I don't feel like cooking, I go out and get something, bring it in. My thing is, like I said, this is 39 years, and I tell folks, if you pass that 10-year mark, you're gonna stay together. But that's not always true. And me and my wife, both of us was in the church when we met, and we still uplift God now all these years. So, hey.
You know what? I'm going to say I agree with that, but okay, and maybe you can speak back to this, Jegs. By the way, panel, you all see this? Miss Betty said, this live is amazing. That's because of you all. Wow, amazing panel. I agree. She said, love all of you. I agree with that statement, Miss Betty. This is an amazing panel. I should have put you all up here a long time ago. I just had to get my stuff together. So I was going to say, but sometimes lately I've been seeing situations where people have been together for like 30, 40, 50 years, and then all of a sudden they just divorce. And I was kind of it's disheartening. I'm like, I wonder what that's about. But I think it could be different things, depending on that person. Maybe some people stayed in it for the kids. Maybe some people stayed in it just because they were in it for so long. But I'm one, like, I believe in the institution of marriage. I do. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, I'm never getting married. I forget them, that they suck. I don't want to be with nobody. I don't want to be tied down. But if you find that person, and it may not feel like it at the beginning, because I'm telling you, like, my husband and I have grown through these stages, right? Like, what I thought when I was 27 is different from now. It's different. We've evolved. We both transformed for the better, in my opinion. So, and I know that came with time, that came with us getting to know each other better. So a lot of times, if you just try to stick in there, if you hang in there, you can't get upset because somebody dropped their pencil and you were like, okay, I'm gonna give you all an example. I'm a person, I'm really, people would say I'm a neat freak, right? I've had to loosen up a whole lot because I realize it's not just my house. I have kids running around here, and I've had to pull back on that. My husband be like, hey, it's not that big a deal. Don't worry about it. Don't stress out. That's small. And I'm like, no, gotta get this up. Gotta get that. That gotta be perfect. This gotta be that. No, it's not. It's all right. So I use that example to say that through our transformation together, the things that used to bother me do not bother me anymore, because I know that this is who he is, right? Just like the same for me. He knows this is who I am. And I've learned to love him. I love him regardless. You got to take the good with the bad sometimes. If somebody just drops a pencil on the floor or didn't wipe the crumbs up, is that really a huge deal in a grain? If you look at everything in its entirety, is that really a big enough deal for you to be like, I'm leaving you, I don't want to be married? Like, are you just going to drop and leave that person because it's something minor? Or do you stick with it and try to make improvements? And I hear sometimes the grass is not that green on the other side of town. The grass is not always that green. Or what is it? What's the saying, Jay? The grass is not always green on the other side.
On the other side.
Okay. You might be in something and say, I don't know, your husband is not, or your wife is not doing that one little small thing that you can tweak. Bring it to their attention. My whole thing is what we said earlier, communicate and have enough respect for that person to go to them and say, I don't appreciate this, or I don't like that, or can we work on this? And try to stick it out. Don't stick it out if that person is, I don't want to say, but if they're abusive. If they're abusive, that's something different. That's not what I'm talking about. And you make that decision. You figure it out for yourself, because I know I can't speak for everybody. I have my own opinions toward that. But if it's something minor, because I see or hear sometimes that somebody walks away with something that they could have just had that conversation about, and resolve the issue. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like I said, I believe in marriage. I believe in people trying to work together and work it out for the good. So That's my spiel. What's yours, Jay?
I'm not going. Well, I put it this way. I'm not going to have y'all believe that my wife is the perfect homebody wife and all this other stuff. I'm not going to say that she loves me 100% and we this and we that. I'm not going to give you a scenario that's not true.
Right.
When you get married, that first, second year, it's all about love, baby. I love you. Do this. You do everything for each other. But as time goes on, and you start to learn each other, things change.
Yeah.
Where, because I left my shoes by the door, and she don't like that, she comes to realize, oh, he left his shoes there because he's getting ready to go back out. And another thing, being out here and there's mud and everything, my shoes is left by the door because I'm not going to track mud all in the house. So you have to mop and sweep and do all this other stuff. And then I'm not going to put it on her where she has to do the cleaning because it was the mess that I made. My wife, she likes things clean and everything, but my wife, she has come down to deal with me because I'm not a messy guy. I'm not a junky guy, but I do put things out of place at times. And after so many years, she got to the point, oh, he'll take care of it, or he'll move it, or there must have been something wrong out there. A good example. Now, I've got bee stuff here in the house. I keep bees. I got bee stuff here in the house because I have a metal shed. In the summer, it's burning up now due to the change in the weather. And in the winter, it's extremely cold. I don't want to sit out there and do that stuff. So I kind of gravitate to the house with a lot of it. And she understands that, but I know that I can't keep it in the house. So we kind of learn how to work together. When I say she's my backbone, and it comes to the point, I don't know about everybody else, and I can't talk about everybody else. We got 39 years. She know what to do and say. I know what to do and say. And because we trust in God and we let God govern our life, we keep it together, plain and simple.
I love that. That's wisdom right there. That is. I agree. You see it. My mouth was closed. I'm just in here listening. That's because that's what it is. And people were even saying it in the chat. Working together, and it's compromise, and it's learning your partner. And you said it, J3, at the beginning of this spiel that you just gave about your wife not being a perfect person. Nobody is, and I think that's the whole beauty in it. None of us are perfect. We all have our thing. You know what I mean? I'm sure sometimes I know I drive my husband up the wall sometimes, but he can match my personality. He knows that's who I am. He's come to learn, hey, that's my wife. That's good. And, that's my best friend now. And we're at that point, like you go through those things with your spouse and you learn how to deal with those quirks, right? And if it's something like leaving shoes at the door, I know I'm always fussing about, hey, pick this up, pick that up. If it's something like that, those are things you work through, right? Those are things you address and you try to figure out and you try to compromise and work together. All those wonderful things that you've said and everybody else is saying over here in the chat. And I just don't believe that that's a good reason. But hey, I'm out. You left your shoes at the door one time too many. I'm sick of this. That's my opinion. Some people may not be able to do it. And I'm telling you, I'm one of those people. I do not like a mess, but that's me. I don't impose. I try not to impose that. I try not to, but I do. If I'm being honest, I do. I impose. I'm like, hey, y'all, pick this up. You pick that up. But I try to pull back a little bit because, like I said, my husband was like, hey, he's not like I am with that. He can put something down, like you said, Jay. He might not be as clean as I want him to be or as, tidy. And he might put something down when he comes in from work. I'm like, you left it over there again. Well, I just go pick it up or argue about it. But that's not a good reason for me to roll out. I mean, all his other good things outweigh that. He's a provider. He's a protector. He makes sure that I'm well taken care of. He makes sure that my daughters are well taken care of. He makes sure that the bills are paid. We have food on our table. So those are just a couple of things that I can rattle off, but that outweighs him coming in and occasionally putting the shoes on the ground. Yeah. And I'm not rolling out. Please, I'm here. I was like, look, we just had to be roommates if something ever went down. Like, it ain't. we decided on that. Like, hey, it's not, you suck, brother. My father told him when I got married, and some people may be able to relate. He was like, listen, once you take it, that's your responsibility.
That's yours.
And I remind him, you chose me. That's your responsibility. So I agree with you, J3.
I put it this way. The key word you use was perfect. There's no perfect man, no perfect woman, no perfect marriage. If there is, if you're a perfect man, you might as well die. If you're a perfect woman, you might as well die. If it's a perfect marriage, that might as well die. There's nothing that's perfect but one.
That's it.
And you have to realize that in marriage, you have to strive for perfection. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing is easy. You have to work at everything you get, and everything that you do, you have to work at it.
Man, I almost feel like that's a great closer right there, Jay. J3. I gotta understand. Mr. Terry, did you have something to say? Because I see when he started moving, I feel like he has a. So if you do, put your finger up just so I can see it, because I see the top of your head. But J3, I'm constantly evolving. Like you said. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Terry.
Yep. Going back to your benefitship and the relationship, you can be married and still be in a benefitship and not a relationship. J3, is in a genuine relationship because he sees his wife as his equal, not as his subordinate.
I like that. J3,
Oh,
I was muted.
Yeah.
I was talking before I pushed the button. In my mind, I was pushing it and talking at the same time. So, yeah. Well, I have to tell you all, it's 155. I have absolutely enjoyed myself on this panel today. Thank you so much for coming up, J3 and Minister Terry, Michael Moss, who I still see over there in the chat. Thank you all, you three gentlemen, for coming up and sharing your perspective. I do believe it's going to help somebody out if they listen to this live. And I don't know, I would like to have another one at some point. I don't know, whenever, I guess.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming in, because I know I gave you all no notice. I just kind of say, hey, let's jump up here. So thank you for being willing participants, because you never know what somebody's going to ask. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate hearing your different perspectives. Is there anything you would like to say before we close out? I'll let both of you, starting with J3, and starting with Mr. Terry, if you want to say something, and then J3, you can close it out, and then we'll say goodbye. Mr. Terry, anything you want to add or say?
Yeah, just make sure when you get in a good relationship, know the season that the other person is in. You have a building season, you have an expansion season, and you have a giving season in most relationships. Most relationships fail because the person didn't take into account what season the other person was in life. And if you get married, make sure you're getting married to be in a relationship, not in a benefitship. And a marriage will be more successful if each person comes into the marriage completely whole. That's financially, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, and relationally. So if you get married, make sure the marriage is a relationship and not a benefitship. A relationship is out of free will. A benefitship is out of need because one or more persons can't meet their basic needs in life.
Okay.
I was just thinking about when he said benefit. The only thing I can go back to when he said benefit was back in my military days. I know a lot of soldiers got married just for that benefit. It helped them. That's why they got married. It wasn't about love or anything. They got married so they can get the housing allowance and all this other stuff to help them out. As far as in this free world side, no, I'm not going to go with the benefit portions. But I put it this way. In order to find the perfect mate, me personally, I give you a little example. I told as I said, I was in the military. I was running around doing a whole bunch of things I shouldn't have been doing. I wasn't raised like that, but I did it because I said I was free. And that was from 18 to 22, I believe. And I told my grandmother, I said, Grandma, I'm ready to get married. I'm tired of this. I'm tired. My grandma said, baby, just pray about it. Just pray about it, baby. A few years later, I ended up meeting my wife. We got married. We've been together ever since. And we don't put more on each other than we anticipate or can handle. We put God first, and that's why I survived this long. Just having a greed motive in your mind getting married, it won't work. But if you have a person getting married, that's the person you love, that's the person you see yourself getting old with, and God is in the head, the cornerstone of it all, you'll survive.
Well. There we have it. I like that. I don't need to say anything more. I just need to close my mouth. And I just want to, I should have been doing this while you talk. I was just so captivated by you, making that statement because it's powerful. So I, again, thank you both, Mr. Terry, J3, and Michael for coming on thank you all, I should say, for coming on the panel. I absolutely enjoyed myself. And that's it. I don't even want to say anything else because you said it all.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you all, if you're willing to come back another time, then make sure you come on back and we'll pull you on up for another one. In the meantime, I need to find this file. Jigs, what is it? What was I going to say to you? You already, you did tell about your channel. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we did that before I left out. I didn't want to leave this stream without giving you the opportunity to say something about your channel, and same for you, Mr. Terry. Okay, you all. Thank you for coming in. Have a great rest of the day. What else am I to say?
Y'all be blessed now.
All right. See y'all later. Have a good day.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to geekygirlsjournal.com to make purchases for the special girl or woman in your life. We have books and motivational merch. Check us out.